Welcome to the season 1 premiere of Harsh Realms, a kids on bikes actual play set in the beautiful Pacific Northwest of the nostalgic 1990s. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves so you can meet our lovely cast, and then we shall begin the game. Hello, I am Riley, your facilitator for this. There's a word there. It's game. English is difficult. Yeah. And really looking forward to getting to introduce this wonderful table of folks. I'm just going to go clockwise as it appears to moi. Nux, would you please introduce yourselves?
Hi everyone, I'm Knox. I'm going to be Celine Zamora. I'm just excited to be here. That's it. That's the intro.
Cool. Chris, do you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Christiana. I'm going to be playing the lovely Dorothy, or Dee Dee. You can catch me on here on Tuesdays or Saturdays with Riley on TTRPG, where we're going to be reprising this Saturday, Season 2 of our Avatar The Last Airbender Reclamation show. It's one of my favorite shows that I've ever done ever because Riley is amazing. And I know she's going to do even more amazing on this show. So I'm very, very excited. And for this lovely cast, too.
Cool. Thank you. Renee, would you like to take it away? Didn't
mean to
rhyme.
Hi, I'm Renee. I use she, her pronouns. I'll be playing Tara, who also uses she, her pronouns. And I'm around on Twitter at RayDNR. This is actually the first new stream I've joined in over a year because of how COVID and long COVID has gone. So I'm super excited to be back and have enough energy to be playing with this lovely cast and with Riley as a facilitator and storyteller because I am super excited for this season. I am sometimes on Wandering DM's channel on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern playing Scion. But that game is intermittent and long running. So, yep, that's it.
Cool. And Kels?
Hello, I'm Kels. I use she, they pronouns, and my character that I'm playing in Harsh Realms is Nikki Fielder. I just really can't wait to play this system and with these crazy people. Love them. And I just really can't wait to get started. You can find me on Twitter and places at PokeKels.
And last but most certainly not least, Glyza.
Hello. I'm Glyza. I go by they, them. Today I'll be playing Adriana, or Andy Panganiban, who is a rich kid who is super chill, the chillest of the chill, I promise. I'm a person of many hats. I'm a podcast host. I'm a writer. I'm a variety streamer. I'm a talk show host of a show called Trial Run. It's a show where I interview different TTRPG personalities, creators, players, GMs, and everything else in between. I create a character with them and then run them through a quick one shot. You can find this show on twitch.tv/be never ending at every last Saturday of the month. So in the mornings, because that's my new schedule. Before it was Friday, now it's Saturday mornings. I hope it'll be okay. Tomorrow, you can find me on Neon Lights Roleplay, where I play a Digimon Destined, I think is the word for it. I'm not sure if I'm correct. I've never watched Digimon. I don't know why they chose me to play in it, but I am having fun. I have Doraemon as my Digimon, so he's adorable. But that's gonna be on Neon Lights Roleplay. On Thursday, I will be playing Moira, a scholar turned space ninja on Esper Genesis at /Atomic Zero. And on Friday, I will be playing Mahalina, a mech fighter in a fantasy world who is all about revenge and trying to avenge their dead girlfriend, who is not actually dead. and she just found that out last week. It is a charity stream, again, on Neon Lights Roleplay. And then on Saturday, because I have a thing every day this week. Saturday is Angels with Scaly Wings, where I play a visual novel online, and I'm also raising money for reproductive health care. It's called Angels with Scaly Wings, and I, as a human being, will be dating a dragon.
Oh my gosh.
And it's I'm not a dragon. I cannot turn into a dragon, but I am gonna be dating a dragon. It's definitely meant for me. But yes, that's where you can find me this week. I'm sure next week is gonna be different, but I think I'm done.
Hey, thank you. Welcome. Welcome. I am very excited. Let's set the stage, shall we? Let's go back in time to the wonderful, wonderful year of 1997. If you know Washington State, then you know approximately about where Seattle is. If you start in Seattle and you hop on I-5 and you head south and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, eventually you'll hit State Route 167. And if you hop on that and head south and keep going and keep going and keep going, eventually you'll hop on to Summit Avenue. And if you take that and you go south and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, eventually you'll come to a place where the evergreens outnumber all of the buildings and the wilderness encroaches on the last little bits of suburbia. And there is where we find our little town of Thrifton, Washington. Thrifton, Washington, located conveniently in the heart of Cascade County, nestled at the feet of the Cascade Mountain Range. Mount Rainier in the distance, basically a feature of everyone's front yard. The locals here tell weather by how the mountain's out. If it's a bad day, if there's lots of clouds, say, mountain's not out. Or if it's a bright, beautiful, sunny day, they say, the mountain is out. That's the way you know the weather around here, talking about the mountain. It's a small town, Thrifton. It's got a few thousand people, different folks from different areas. It used to be one of those places you'd go to enjoy the farmland, get involved with the industry, pick some kale and have some delicious salads, the local business, or maybe go down and see the festival every spring that they celebrate, the Kale Festival, where they pick a kale queen from amongst a pageantry of princesses from the surrounding area high schools. But, as the 90s have been coming to a close and the century has been coming with it, and the new millennium is shining bright there on the horizon, our little town of Thrifton has seen folks depart. Not so many people come into town as they used to. And when they do, they're either stopping at the bed and breakfast for an overnight before they hit the trails and the mountains, or they get supplies to go out camping near Packwood Way. Not so many folks out there these days. However, that doesn't mean there's nobody who's in the town. And on this particular Saturday, March 22nd of 1997, there is something special in the sky. It has been creeping up for months and months, ever since 96, ever since the fall of 96. You could see it right there in the heavens. And even when the night went away, even when all the other stars perished with the daylight, there it was, Comet Hale-Bopp. Beautiful, shining, bright, the burgeoning internet constantly talking about it. Lots of ideas about this being a harbinger of the new millennium, of potentially psychic activities going on with it. There's a lot of speculation online. It's a constant point of talk. And as 97 has worn on, it has only gotten closer, larger, brighter, more of a tail in the sky. Even with the sun out, even at its height and apex, you can see its tail going into the distance in the sky. It's like the moon in the daylight. And on such a day, where the mountain is out and the comets hanging there in the heavens, we zoom down into our little town of Thrifton, Washington. It is a Saturday morning. The cartoons are all abuzz in the early hours. It's about, I want to say, about 8 or 9 a.m., so the prime time for when all that starts. So, with that scene set, would anyone like to introduce their character and what a Saturday average morning routine might be for them? Don't all volunteer at once.
I could start if
Yeah.
you want. Andy,
I would love.
Andy, it's a Saturday, and usually, Andy, I would be sleeping in. I would be sleeping in because I don't really do a lot of activities outside of school. My parents want me to do some other stuff, but I don't really want to. So it's maybe around 11. I am still a kid. I roll out of bed and quickly reach out for my glasses and I put them on. And the first thing I do every single day, since my grandma has taught me, is to grab a tarot card. Grab my tarot, do a little bit of shuffling here and there, and draw a card. And I drew the Queen of Strength because D&D has to be special and they can't just use the minor arcana words. They have to use strength. And anyway, that's for me
Of
to
course,
talk
of course.
about, Anyway, today it says, this card says, today is a day of spreading love and letting your light shine. Have courage to take it to the next level. And that does make me stop for a little bit because I'm not one for taking it to the next level. So I frowned, put the card down, and just think about what that means for the day. And then I just go downstairs and look for breakfast.
I have a question
Yes.
because we've talked about how do you pronounce your last name?
Panganiban.
Panganiban. We've talked about how the Panganibans are quite wealthy. Are they like live-in home assistance wealthy? Like, what are we talking about with that level?
So, in the Philippines, yes.
Okay.
In the Philippines, whenever Andy and her family would go to the Philippines, we do have our own in living friends or aunts or something like that. We call them titas or titos. All that because our house is bigger there and all of that. Over here though, when we're here in the States, it's big, but we do take care of our own things. Like we don't have any servants in the house. We do have sometimes my mom cooks sometimes, but most of the time it's just catering because they're busy people. So
Sure, of course. Do you think your parents would be in the house by this time, or would they be out and about?
probably my dad won't be at the house. Manuel Panganiban does not take breaks because he is busy. Bernadette, though, my mom would be at home.
Yeah. And I think she's probably downstairs. And when you come down, she just greets you with a very simple, "Good morning. How did you rest?"
Good morning, mom. All right. Do we still have breakfast?
Mm-hmm. And she quickly goes to the kitchen, and as is sort of a tradition, because again, this is stereotypical for you waking up this late, she has a dish of breakfast saved with a little cloche one of those silver little bells over it that she brings over to you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Mom. Do you have anything planned for today?
No, not particularly. I was thinking about going to town and maybe looking through the supermarket for something. I was feeling a little bit peckish for making a dish. I'm not quite sure what to make though.
Oh, you're cooking something tonight?
Mm-hmm. I thought so. What do you think?
Yes. Well, um, you know what I really, really, really miss?
What's that, sweetheart?
Embutido. It's such a great, like, whenever we visit, whenever we're at the Philippines, embutido is like one of my favorite meals that grandma makes. And if you can make that, I'd be really happy.
Absolutely. Anything for you, dear. And she'll just like come over and give you that very gentle like kiss on the forehead. I hope you have a good Saturday. Please let me know. Oh, you have your cell phone, right?
Yeah, I think I left it upstairs, but yeah, I'll text you if I need anything.
Make sure to keep it charged. The battery doesn't last that long.
Yeah, I'll make sure. I'll text you. It okay. I promise.
And then she's already like sort of turned out. Like she said the requisite things to say for mom and is now just sort of flowing towards the front door. Talk to you later. See you for dinner.
Bye.
A closing of the front door. I imagine your house is one of those that has got at least like 2 stories to it,
Mhm.
maybe 3. Yeah.
There's definitely 3 because it has a really nice attic, and I have turned it
Mm.
into my game room, my lounge room, because apparently 1 room is not enough for me.
Fair enough. So when she closes the front door, it reverberates throughout it. Like you have those big front bay windows that face eastward out and a huge, glorious vista view of Mount Rainier ensconced by evergreen trees at the bottom of it. And the mountain is looking beautiful this morning. Well, almost afternoon, I should say.
All right. I I'm gonna go play some games. And I grab the food and go straight up to the attic to my lounge area. Um, and just sort of like sit there until, for a while, thinking about the whole like spreading the light, spreading the love. And this time um I don't cuss at whenever I lose a game because I'm spreading love.
Smart. So we'll cut out with the camera zooming away from Andy very quietly, intentionally not cussing, those percussive moments of silence filling the air with the game over sound and then the restart button. And we'll zoom over to who feels like going next and introducing their character to the mix. All right, Renee or Knox, which of you would like to go first? Fight to the death.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors.
Immediately, like, there's only one way to settle this. Rock, paper, scissors.
We're in
let's go.
character already.
Yeah, let's go. I'm
All
here
right,
for it.
ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ah, dang it.
All right, one more.
Okay.
Rock,
Rock,
paper, scissors, shoot. Yeah.
You win.
Yep. All right, Knox, take it away.
Cool. I just say where I am?
Yeah, give us an average Saturday morning in the spring for you.
All right. So Celine definitely woke up pretty early. Probably her sibling Leo probably woke her up like, "Hey, I'm hungry. Make me food." Her grandparents are probably still sleeping in a little bit, so she's going to the kitchen and making. She's looking at the leftovers they have and probably making like machaca, which is like eggs and meat and like onions. It's really easy to make it because it's like if you have leftovers, you can make machaca. So she's probably putting some of that together for Leo and herself, and then saving like a big portion for her grandparents.
Mm.
And after she makes sure Leo's fed, she's probably going to go get dressed to head to work because she does work weekends, which she hates.
Yeah, she does work weekends. What time do you think she starts? About 9ish or 10ish?
She probably starts at 10ish, like because she wants to make sure everybody's like settled at home first. Waiting for one of her grandparents to wake up. To make sure Leo's old enough to watch themselves, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like that big sister energy. It's like, no, you're a baby. I
Yeah.
gotta make sure you're good.
Yeah, it's the 90s now. We're not all just running around latchkey kids. Like, we have standards, We
Yeah,
have,
it's like not the 80s when it was like
Yeah.
like
oh, the wild hinterlands of the 80s.
all the
Good
serial
gosh.
killers and stuff like that. We learn now.
We've learned. Yeah, we've learned.
And so she's like making sure Leo is settled before heading to work. So she probably goes in at 10.
Okay. How young is Leo? I just want to ask.
I'm gonna say 12.
12? Yeah, that's decent.
So old enough to be like, I can take care of myself while my grandparents are asleep, but also young enough to be like, no, you're a child.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And your grandma will probably come down, cracking those early morning bones and sort of shuffling her way. She won't say much initially. She'll just give you like a pat, a hug, and then go and immediately start taking care of Leo.
Yeah.
How do you get to work?
Probably walking, even though it's painful.
All right.
Because it's not like she has a car or anything.
True. Eventually you make it to work, and Far Out Jams is one of those shops, one of the very few shops in town, honestly. It is anachronistically 1960s. Like, it looks like it has been taken out of that decade and dropped straight into here. And the interspersing decades have not been kind to the paint, the sign, the windows. Like, it is on its last legs, and it is being like culled together from what it can be. But it's clean. It's well taken care of, obviously, by you. And the interior of Far Out Jams looks less like an organized record store and more like a used bookstore for vinyls. Like, there are towers and stacks of these vinyls precariously perched at angles that don't seem possible to support themselves. They sort of go in, they form little bridges over one another. And I think every day you go in there and you're waiting for the whole thing to come down and collapse finally, and it never does. It never does.
Definitely gotten hit by at least one record, though.
Yeah, at least one. And on this particular morning, one of the many cats which occupies the space, Beverly, a red and cream bicolored cat, hops off one of the tall stacks and just comes up to your legs and begins doing the infinity between the ankles and just sort of rubbing up against.
Like, lean down, pet her, also see if there's any food in the back, because I probably make sure that these cats are fed.
Yeah, for sure. Going into the back. The back is much more well organized than the front of this is. And going into the back, there is very much the section of, this is the back of the store, and then there's Kendra Trigg's office. Kendra looks like if Professor Trelawney was like way into denim, like a little too into denim and tie-dye. Like, same wild frizzy hair, a little less caring about her like appearance than everything. Today she is sporting overalls, one of them just completely not snapped on, and with a bomber jacket, pretty much the only piece of clothing she ever wears that is consistent to herself. And she's sitting at her at her by now ancient Macintosh computer, the big old bulky ones, those beige monsters, and just click clacking away. And you can hear at least 3 radios going on, and like one of them might be a police scanner as well. And when she hears the door to the back room open, you just hear her go,
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. I think we have a new sighting.
Really?
Yeah. I got a signal in, what's this from? Spokane. They came in from Spokane and it bounced over to McMurray Island. I haven't gotten anything since then. I'm waiting on a recurve. But, and she just spins around. She has a bit of a lazy eye in her right eye, so she's like looking at you, but also sort of like looking at the floor a little bit. And she just looks at you and she's like, it should be a good one today.
All right, glad to hear it.
Oh, are you feeding the cats?
Yeah. Beverly just came right up to me, and I just want to make sure she was good.
Yeah, let me call the rest of them. Uhura, Chapel, Tasha, Beverly, Pulaski, Deanna, Jadzia, Kira, and just begins calling off. They're all named after the women of Star Trek. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh, I love that.
Beverly Crusher, yeah. And like 8 cats come from various parts of this area and all descend, and just they're swarming your feet, interspersing themselves, hopping up on the
someone
back
with
room.
mobility issues.
And she stands up and points, I always do. I'm so sorry. Get back. Give her some space. Give her some space.
It's fine. I've got it. I just carefully try to not fall because I've already walked here, so I'm already in pain. But I also try not to trip or step on a cat.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hurt one of them, so I can reach the food, and I don't know if they have like a collective bowl or just a bunch of different ones.
I think the food dissemination is going to be left up to you. So how would you do it?
Well, okay, so I have 3 cats at home, so I know that the minute they hear that food, they come running. So it does not help that she already called them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking I put like one big bowl to like one corner of the room, and then while they all go over there, I really quickly pour another like 2 or 3 bowls and put them in the middle, so each cat shares like two cats to a bowl,
The
but like
distraction
disperse them
method.
around the corners so that they each have a different place, and I'm like picking up cats and moving them to bowls. This is a record store about moving cats for work.
Yep. It's great. We love to see it. Eventually, you're able to get all the little deckhands fed, and Kendra eventually gives you today's order. You've got some restocks coming in, some old vinyls. She tells you, oh, Lloyd's gonna stop by in the afternoon. He's got some from the bowling alley that he's retiring. He says they're of good quality, but I just don't, the way it is with Lloyd, he just gets rid of things and just sort of pawns them off onto people. It's not that groovy of him. It's not a righteous move. I mean, recycling's totally like valid, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just make your trash somebody else's trash. You got to think forward with these things. Think of the way to reintegrate them in a society, repair, reduce, reuse, recycle, right?
Right. I'm sure if they're not good quality, I can come up with something to do with them. Maybe put them up like decoration or something.
Oh, you're so good with those. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, McMurray! And just she darts off to the computer as some sort of radio signal, which sounds like absolute, just like, like just comes through. And she's squawking to it, like hardly saying words back and completely lost in herself.
That sounds about right. Okay, so I guess that's today's orders, and I just turn around and start working.
Yeah. And then we'll hard cut out from there, zooming away from far out jams to one of the other mornings that we have yet to see. Renee, did you wanna get your girl turn?
Yep, happy to
Yeah.
go. So Tara wakes up also pretty late. This is The whole family, the Troy family, has already started their day, and they're pretty used to Tara sleeping in. It's a fatigue thing, and so it's probably like 11 o'clock by the time she gets up, makes her way downstairs. She can see her mom out the window weeding the yard. Her dad is not around, probably out cycling this weekend, and if she had to guess, her brother's in his room playing with Legos. Um, Speaking of Lego, she pulls some waffles out of the freezer, and pops some in the toaster.
Mm-hmm.
Gets her breakfast ready and heads to the computer nook that the family has.
Yeah.
Shared computer space, but since everyone else is busy, Tara is able to just sit down, shovel some waffle in her face, and pull up the forums that she is a part of. I think one of the threads that she's been engaging in lately is about the comet that will tomorrow. The comet Hale-Bopp will intersect with the with a partial lunar eclipse, and it's supposed to be epic. There's so many people dropping theories about what this means, what's going to happen, if it's the end of the world. And in this long thread of this forum, she types in, "Still holding out for my superpowers. Send."
Can I get a roll for you?
Sure.
Yeah, let's make this the first roll. How about
my
we do a
gosh.
brains roll?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me,
And let's make it like a 6, shall we?
okay. It did not occur to me to pull up my character, but it is on here, so that's okay. That's a D12 for me,
Mm-hmm.
and that is exactly a 6.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
So, sitting down with your Lego My Egos, and shoving waffle into your mouth and parsing through these threads, you make your comment, and then you do the scroll up. You know, it's like, okay, this one's getting a lot of hits. I want to make my contribution so that people can reply, and then I'll read. And scrolling up through the thread, you're able to see a few of the main folks who have commented and have bigger ideas about it. One such person is a user by the name of Cousin Fred 127. And they say something along the lines of, "The next revelation is upon us. We shall be taken to the next level. We are all prepared. Tonight, we are prepared. Melmont, 7 p.m." And a couple people like tag that, and they're like, "Are you allowed to advertise?" And then a mod weighs in, and they're like, well, I mean, it's a local event, so if you're in the area." And then there's a small like back and forth about somebody weighing in, well, the legality of like giving out real world. It evolves. Another area is someone who you know and has known to talk about their time at UW, whether they're an adjunct professor or whether they're a student at the University of Washington. It's hard to say, but they're involved on the campus and they're involved in academia, and they are at least astronomy adjacent. And their post is actually a little long. It's about 4 paragraphs-ish, and they're talking about how the excitement around tomorrow is really warranted and valid. And of course, you know, partial eclipse in this area, especially in conjunction with Hale-Bopp, it's going to be beautiful and gorgeous. But I just really want to point out that tonight is the perihelion. This is the closest point at which this is going to be to Earth. And it's going to be as close as it's come in many months. And actually, I used the wrong terminology there. This is the closest point of approach on Earth. The perihelion, the closest point to which the comet will approach the sun, is on April 1st. So their whole little post is talking about how there's this brief window from the 22nd till April 1st where this comet is going to be at its apex. Beautiful, bright sky. And of course, tomorrow is a good thing, but it's important to remember that in astronomy, there's many, and then they go off. You just sort of like glaze over. It's like, all right, they are obviously half writing their thesis here.
Yeah, I skim it because it's a Saturday morning. I'm bored. What else do I do?
Yeah, of course. And as you're skimming down, it's weird because one of the posts that you're like skimming across and you're seeing like most of these users that you've seen post before, and then you just see a guest post on the forum, and it just says Blackbird. All lowercase, no punctuation, black space. English is difficult. Black space bird. And as you scroll down and you scroll back up to look at that comment, it's gone. No post, no guest, there's no mod action, nothing. Just a moment.
Okay. And I just quickly saw that.
Yep, that's what you quickly saw.
Cool. I think that is enough for me to be done on the forums today.
Yeah.
My parents don't know that I am online talking to internet strangers.
Oh yeah,
And
they'd be pissed.
I think I'm really good about it. Like I say I live in Texas, even though I'm very clearly not in Texas. But it's, like she thinks she's super smart about internet safety, but also it would be super concerning if her parents found out. So, yep, slightly mortified. She's like, okay, parents do not need to know this. Clears browser history, because I don't think Tara is convinced her parents know about browser history, but again,
Yeah.
just to be sure.
Just to be sure. And it's at that point where you're clearing the browser history from it, where you hear meow, and then a small misshapen starship made of Legos crashes into the screen of the computer.
Hey!
Sorry. Do you want to play Legos?
Yeah, okay. I'll shovel the last bite of waffle in my mouth. Kind of put the broken wing of this spaceship back on, and then go and fly it down, walking with my brother to his room.
Yeah. And he'll just say, Darth Vader here to save the world, and like run along like as a little satellite around you. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. He got it in his head that Darth Vader is the hero of Star Wars the first time he watched it.
I mean,
yeah, obviously.
The kid is right.
Yeah, totally. Darth Vader's the best.
Blame the Jedi.
Hashtag
is the Jedi's fault.
Hashtag Vader was right.
But if you stop to think about it.
The Jedi, though. No, anyway, so we'll get back to his room, and I'll start building my own little spaceship out of all. We have like a giant tub of spare Legos, and I'll start building my own so that we can race around the house.
Nice. And he is going to gleefully jump into the tub with you and like just start going through those. He has no eye for perpendicularity or symmetry. It's just mash and put together different colors, and that's a starship. It doesn't look like a starship, but he treats it as such. Yeah. And we'll zoom out on that and leave you to your Lego morning with your younger brother. And who amongst our remaining two ensemble would like to have a morning?
Let's do this.
Paper, scissors.
Let's do this. Oh, we can pape. We can pape.
What? We can pape?
That's, I don't know. Maybe it's a 90s slang.
Yeah,
I
we
wouldn't
can
know.
make pape happen.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's
I'm
Rock,
shoot.
paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, you both chose rock,
Okay.
huh? All right.
That's as you do.
One more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay.
You got it, Kels.
There you go, Kels.
Nikki Fielder, 13 years old, has been up for a little bit. Nikki has big plans today. Nikki is going to go out and check on the crow's nest. That's about just like 50 to 100 yards into the woods behind her house, her family's house, which is a smallish house, kind of on the edge of Thrifton, which suits Nikki just fine because all she wants to do is run out into the woods and memorize it as best as she can. So she's been up for a little bit and has come downstairs. Her mom would already be at work, definitely working on weekends at the local animal hospital, I believe Amblewood Veterinary Clinic. And she sees her brother on the couch watching Cow and Chicken morning cartoons, and doesn't see her dad, but assumes that he's somewhere, either still sleeping or somewhere around the house at this point.
Yeah.
Grabs a bowl and fills it with Cinnamon Toast Crunch and some milk and tries to wolf that down before she heads outside.
As you are wolfing down, you see that your brother Nate is practicing some sort of coin trick. He's got like a silver dollar. You're not sure if it's real or if it's just one of those penny ones that you get at a magic shop. But he's trying to do the thing where you flip it back behind a finger and make it disappear, but he keeps dropping it. And you just hear him. It's a very simple rhythm of thump. Shit. Ah, crap.
If you do that all day, maybe it'll work once. It sounds like a pretty good.
Maybe. Don't you have some turkey to like figure out or something?
Turkeys don't breed at this time of year. I'm pretty positive it's an American crow's nest.
Turkey don't breed at this time of year. Fuck.
Well, yeah, I hope that magic works out for you, bro. Nikki is antagonistic with Nate. They don't get along very well. They're only 1 year apart. He's older.
Yeah.
I'm sure that everybody in this tiny, tiny town is going to make you famous off of your coin trick.
Yeah, you know what? You say that now, but when I'm in Vegas... it's
like 110 degrees in Las Vegas, like almost every single day.
Anything would literally be better than this freaking snooze fest of a dreary, rainy, forested,
beautiful ecosystem.
Yeah, beautiful. Remind me again, what's the nest of the animal you're going to see?
American crow.
American crow.
It's like the easiest animal to remember. It's everywhere.
Yeah, they're so pretty, crows.
They're smart. Whatever.
Crows aren't smart.
You know what? I bet you that crow could make a coin disappear faster than you could. She like dumps her bowl into the sink and grabs her little rucksack bag and is like, "All right, I'm out. I don't want them to know that I'm checking on the nest. They might like get sad or something and not want to see the babies, but I really want to see them."
What do you mean by disappear?
Crow making a coin disappear? Is that not what you're trying to do?
Yeah, but like, do they know magic?
Probably. I don't know. Some people think they're magic.
Well, you're going to the crow nest now?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, I mean, like, they're probably stupid or whatever. Like, they're not that cool, but like, maybe. I mean, if I brought my coin, do you think they could do something with it?
Isn't like X-Men on soon?
Oh shit, you're right. And like completely just drops the coin, turns on the television, and is completely lost to the X-Men cartoon.
Nikki sighs of relief because she really didn't want to have to lead him out into the woods because Nate just like isn't an outdoor kid. He's an indoor kid.
No, not in the least. Yeah.
Always tripping on things.
hmm And you're taking off into the woods. Yeah.
I know just the way to go.
I imagine that your house is probably close enough to the edge of Thrifton that you might be near the Tolmy River, actually. So you could probably like go down to the riverbed, and that might be where the crow's nest is, overlooking it in a birch tree.
Sick. Yeah, I've been watching the crows make this nest for a little while, and I've been reporting on it at the Birdwatching Club in Thrifton, of which I am a member. Though sometimes I don't make the meetings on time, but I'm always very excited about what I do have to report. So
Yeah.
I think I tried the tree. It's pretty high up in the tree, so I try to climb up as high as I can on like one of the trees by the banks of the river. I think that you would be pretty comfortable with climbing and outdoor things, being a scout. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's I try to get up as close to the nest as I can to see if the eggs are have hatched yet.
Yeah, as you're climbing up there, you're able to see. I'm gonna imagine that it's probably like a pine or a fir that you're able to get around, like pretty like good for its size, and get up there. And you're able to see number one, the crow's nest. Um, the eggs haven't hatched quite yet, which is kind of late. It's late in the spring for this, so them not being hatched, that's kind of a problem.
Hmm.
Another thing you do see, however, is smoke in the distance off to the east.
I think she regards it for a second because would you say east is towards town or away from town?
East is definitely away from town.
Hmm.
So if here's Thrifton and Seattle's up that way and Oregon's down that way, Rainier is over here, like over here, of course. And the Tolmy kind of snakes its way down from it, passes through, I want to say, the northeast corner of the town, and then heads on out to the Salish Sea. And this is coming from where you know is that old mining town that's been abandoned for about 40 years or so, Melmont.
Abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a bit concerning. I think Nikki's like looking out there and is like, somebody out in the mining town on Saturday? Why would they have a fire? She makes a mental note to maybe mention it to her dad or whoever when she, heads back to the house. But like, as of right now, it's just kind of like notes it and is like, well, it's kind of weird. But then like, who knows? Could be campers out that way, but don't know why they'd be around the mining town.
Yeah,
It's a
sure.
little dangerous out there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
After the crows, what does Nikki do?
I think that Nikki would make her rounds. There's a slightly worn path around just like the perimeter of like the property and a little bit further beyond where Nikki usually plays. The Tolmy River is a great place to like get lost in imagination, and so I think she spends a little bit of time just kind of like in the shallows there, like looking at cool rocks and like skipping them and just kind of like exploring a little bit up the way.
It is a great river for rocks. It's got a nice mix between the smooth, soft ones that are very oval, but also those like chunks that flake off of like granite and boulders. And like you can kind of pretend they're arrowheads. They're not arrowheads whatsoever, but they got that triangular shape to them.
I think I've got a collection of them up in her bedroom at her home. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially triangular ones. So like the most arrowheady ones of all.
Yeah. And I think as you're going through that, you see Something overhead. You see it first as a shadow beneath you, naturally. And then something overhead flies past.
I
You
snap
take
my head up, really excited, thinking that like might be a different bird.
Yeah. Here's the interesting thing about it. It definitely is a bird. You see it. It looks like a bird, but you can't identify it whatsoever.
What is that?
What would you
Um,
try and do to recall? What would you try and do at this moment to identify it further?
I think I would first take note of size and wing type, and then beak type most of all.
Hmm. Okay.
Are we talking like a large, like a small, like a finch, or a large, like an eagle or a crow?
Would you have a bird watching book on you?
I might in my rucksack, yeah.
Yeah,
Part
yeah.
of my zip that
Let's
open.
yeah, let's roll a brains. Let's roll a brains here. I'm gonna set this at. You're pretty good in brains,
I'm
right?
good
You
at
got a
brains. It's my
D20
highest
there.
stat. I got a 20 in it.
Yeah. This is going to be a more difficult challenge. And I'm going to.
I rolled an 18.
And here I was thinking setting it at a 12 was difficult.
I was gonna say you didn't even wait for a difficulty.
Didn't
You're like,
even
I
what.
got this.
I was like, do I set it at 12 or do I be a little mean and put it at 16? You're like, 18, motherfucker. All right. So you get a great look at it. Like it sits down in a tree. It takes some time to preen itself and to really take care of itself. And then it even flits down to a lower branch. And you take enough time that you go from the front end of the book all the way through the back.
This excites me a lot.
This is a bird you have literally never seen, and that is not in your book.
I think Nikki gets a quick rush of excitement, being like, I've discovered a brand new species. I'm going to be famous. And she like rustles around, tries to find a pen, and flips to like the back page of the book where the appendix is, and starts to write down as much as she can about the bird, like what color it is, what it looks like. And she already has started like Nikki's warbler, like she's already like writing down pretend names in the back of the book. And just absolutely is just like, oh my gosh, okay, and it's the colors, okay, it's got a little shorter, longer beak, like just as much detail as possible.
Yeah.
Just very excited.
When you're finished with that, do you sit back and sort of like look at the entry proudly and be like, yeah, that's it? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you've very carefully written it all down. Like, yeah, Nikki's warbler. Okay, it's got a beak like this. Its plumage is like this. It's got all of this. And you write it down and you look back up at the bird and you're like, yeah, that's exactly it. And you look down. None of that is written. In your own hand, in your own handwriting, is written in sort of a frayed, panicked script, Dicky Bird. And then you see a couple lines. You wrote quite a bit about it, but there's only like 4 or 5 things. A lot of it is question marks and ers and uhs and punctuation errantly interspersed. But you see crow, comma, question mark, exclamation point, M dash, blackish, reddish, rainbow, comma, ellipses. What is Dicky? And it's written in exactly your own handwriting.
I think she drops her pen, thinking there must be some sort of mistake, and like kind of like touches the page, like, did something happen? Is this real? Because this is abnormal. This is like, Nikki knows that that's not what she wrote.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck?
And
Which
I think
is a word she learned last year.
Yeah, a special word you learn on the bus. And I think on that very succinctly dropped, what the fuck, we'll just zoom out on the scene we see the Dicky Bird take off, cross over the camera, and just do a wipe to the wonderful house and abode of one Dee Dee.
So Dee Dee actually wakes up at the crack of dawn because she promised her dad that she would go with him to the river, to the Tolmi River, to collect some soil samples. She's not particularly pleased about it, but a promise is a promise, and she loves her parents. So she gets ready, she puts on her outdoor clothes, a couple extra layers because she gets cold kind of easy, and she goes downstairs to the kitchen to make some tea and some hot chocolate and put it in a couple thermoses for her and her dad. And she sees that there's a plate of food for her, and she looks around for her mom, and she's not there, but the plate of food is so picturesque and immaculate, like 3 perfect little pancakes, all the same size, and strawberries cut into little hearts, and a little cup of tea that's kind of cold now. But she takes a second to appreciate it because she knows that her mom took some time to do this for her. And yeah, she kind of just like sits down and eats breakfast and probably hears her dad coming down the stairs.
Yep. And as he's coming down the stairs, you just hear, Dee Dee, are you ready to go?
Yes, Papa. I'm just yes. And she like quickly shoves some pancakes into her mouth and puts her plate in the sink.
What's wrong, dear? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just I don't know how you like your tea.
Oh. 2 sugars.
Okay. And she goes and she drops 2 sugar cubes in the thermos and like shakes it up a little bit, hands it out to him very excitedly. I made this for you.
Oh, thank you so much. And then he takes it, takes his tea, just does a quick preliminary sip of it, and he just gives her a smile and says, "Thank you very much, dear. Now, are you ready to get off to the river?"
Yes, I'm so excited. Do I need anything else other than boots?
No.
And
just your 2 feet and a delight for nature.
Okay, I'm excited.
Yes, me too, of course. Your mother got a bit of an early start this morning.
Yeah, she made me some breakfast. I just assumed maybe she was gonna do some more blogging, or I don't know.
Oh, yes. She's been quite into a blog recently. Something about making certain that I'm not quite sure about all of it, but she's gaining what she calls momentum within the blogosphere on the web, which is quite exciting, I must say. So she should be having some developments with that, and we may be able to catch her near dinner.
Okay. I just miss her sometimes.
I know you do, darling, but she cares for you as well. Of course, she made you food, and did not make me any. I'll have granola. And he just walks over to one of the cabinets and pulls out a couple of trail granola bars, packs them into the pack. Righty then, pip hop, and then proceeds to walk out the front door, very intrepidly, just heading towards the River Tolmi.
Okay, I'll follow him. I assume we probably have like some kind of car that's good for off-roading or whatever, because the samples are for his job, and it probably goes a little further than where normal civilians might go near the river.
Yeah, he has a car. Whether it's good for off-roading or not remains to be seen. It is a silver 1997 Toyota Camry. which
okay.
he, of course, bought for safety reasons.
That's him.
Yep. Getting into there, he turns the radio dial, and eventually it adjusts to "Welcome to KUOW Seattle, the NPR station for the Pacific Northwest. We are here bringing to you the best sounds that classical and jazz can provide. Ira Glass will be on later. Right now, we have Shostakovich." And then just like Shostakovich slowly and cautiously, as only Shostakovich can, winds its way into the sounds of the car. And after about a good 10-ish minutes, it takes a while to get to the road that has access to the Ptolemy proper. He just breaks the silence. "So, remember what we always say when we're out and about. If you can't see me, you're too far away."
You're too far away.
Yes, quite right. And
Have fun.
I mean, of course, every day you must have fun, darling. But keep a mind of your footing. Know where your feet are going, so you know where you've been.
So you know where you've been.
Yes, of course. Yes.
I remember.
This is the way that the pioneers of yore did it, of course. Though, of course, they didn't have cars.
No. And so Dee Dee grabs a couple of like tubes that her dad probably gave her, and she starts, she looks for where he's going, but she does try to stay like a little bit of a distance from him, and just goes to the river, tries to find some cool rocks or something, but maybe they don't really fit into one of the tubes and it breaks. She tries to like hide the broken tube somewhere else.
Are you all right there, darling?
Yes, Papa.
And it's at that moment that our dear friend Nikki is able to hear that in the distance. Just the, "Are you all right there, darling?" And then, "Yes, Papa."
I would love to go investigate, but
Yeah.
quietly in my mind, it's a secret mission.
Yeah, secret mission. Gotta keep it on the down low. Would you please describe Dee Dee for, the class? And also Nikki, who is spying on you from the bushes, of course.
Yeah. Describe myself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dee Dee is about 4'10". She's 12 years old. She's got shoulder length, dark curly hair. She's wearing some like hiking pants that are probably like a black or brown color. And she's got a blue and green plaid shirt on with like a black what are they called? The little vests, the puffer vest, a puffer vest over it. And she's got like a little orange hat on with like hiker boots that are like a half size too big because her mom said that she would grow into them. But it seems like she stopped growing. So like, when is she going to grow into them? She doesn't know.
Yeah. Nikki, you're able to see this kid. Would you recognize Dee Dee from school?
I think we go to the same school. Yeah.
Yeah.
do.
Both Dogwood Jr.
Right. And yes, I think I do recognize her from school, but I don't think I recognize her as well. I mean, I know, I think I know who she is, but I don't know if we've talked all the time. But I think we'd be aware of each other.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And this is definitely like not the fashion choices that I would make to go to school.
Nikki in the bushes is wearing. Nikki is 13 years old and in 8th grade, and has brunette hair that's pretty long, but it's almost always up in a bun or a half bun. And otherwise, if it's down, she never does anything to it. Doesn't know how to do her hair. And is wearing just, jeans, boots, and a red Adidas sweatshirt with black stripes down the sleeves, which is almost always if not on her body, at least in her bag. Just like it's the outfit, you know. I would not
Yeah.
say Nikki is like super super up on fashion, but like Nikki loves that jacket. And it's not very subtle. It is bright red, so you know, kind of like sneaking up to what she sees. She in her mind she thinks she's being all stealthy, which she's probably like, you know, not. But I think she sees Dee Dee across the way and is like, oh, I know who that is. And then is like, should I? Is like kind of debating on whether or not she should you know, wave or call out.
Yeah. I think Dee Dee probably doesn't see Nikki.
I would probably assume not. Oh, well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I think what Dee Dee does see is her father, Ravi, just go, oh! And then you just hear it as the entire man falls into the river Tolmi, not looking where he was planting his feet, not heeding his own words, and you just hear,
Dee Dee is very equipped for this situation. I assume it's not the first time, and I inherited my clumsiness from him. She runs over to the car, grabs a towel, runs over to the river. Papa, are you okay? And hands the towel out and just tries to see how she can help.
I think Nikki laughed loudly when she saw him crash into the river.
Hello?
Oh my god. Oh hey. And she kind of like comes out of the bushes. Like, hey, sorry, I wasn't spying on you. I was just here at the river. But are you okay?
I'm trying to like pull him out if I can. I don't know how far in he is.
Yeah, he's by the shore. He comes out easily enough. He's just sputtering and spurting and coughing up a little bit of water. He's like very undignified. Yeah.
Trying to pat him dry in whatever like tweed shirt he has on.
Yeah.
Do I know you from school?
Yeah, from Dogwood. I think I've seen you. I live and she kind of like points in a general direction back towards where her house would be.
Yeah, I think I live over there too. My name's Dee Dee.
Nikki Fielder. Do you look like you got it under control, but I was gonna say that I've got some more towels if your dad needs it.
Oh, that's so nice. We have a couple.
Very much appreciated. Yes. We must always be careful about our footing. Isn't that right, dear?
That's right, Papa. She was kind of embarrassed at the whole situation.
Nikki is like not used to a parent-child relationship like this because her mom is very like short and to the point, and they don't have the best, like most warm relationship. And then her dad works at a hardware store, so I don't think she's ever met anybody that even has like a British accent. And so she's kind of like, she calls him Papa, and it's just kind of like, okay. And it's like, oh, well, if you guys have it under control, then I'm just gonna go back to looking at the birds.
Are you all right? Are you all right by yourself? Are you out here by your lonesome?
Yeah, where are your parents?
Oh, my mom's working and my dad's at home, but we're just like a mile or so up, like no big deal. This is like, I don't know, it's not my river, but I call it my river.
Papa does too. Do you want to ride home?
Yes, we can offer you a ride.
Nikki's unsure whether or not to walk. Nikki's unsure whether or not to accept, because half of her brain is saying, well, we don't really know these people, and then her other half is like, but we kind of know these people, so can we accept a ride from a near stranger?
Oh, I have some hot chocolate if you want some.
Okay, as long as that's not a ploy.
It's not a ploy.
And she comes out and she's like, okay, she like comes fully out and like approaches them and determines that probably not going to be kidnappers.
What are you doing out here?
Oh, I was checking on my crow's nest. There's been these 2 crows that have been making a nest for like a long time, and so I checked up to see if the eggs had hatched yet. They're not hatched yet, but I did see some weird smoke out in the forest over by the old mining town. And then I was just kind of looking, and I saw a new bird. I saw a new species of bird. I'm gonna
did?
Yeah, I totally did. And she like quickly remembers what happened with her book and was about to grab it, and then decides not to grab it and says, yeah, it was so, I've never seen anything like it. And I've seen a lot of them. It was really, really cool.
Are you the Birdwatchers Club?
Sometimes.
Me too, sometimes. Sometimes I'm a little busy, but I have a really big book of birds, and I was wondering if do you know how to draw?
A little, but not well. Not great.
Okay, because sometimes I draw, so if you describe it, maybe we can make like a presentation or something,
Oh,
and we can show it to everyone.
wow. So that seems like a lot, but if you want, like, I could tell you what it looks like for sure. I don't know about a full presentation because it's kind of Saturday and I have a lot of things to look at this weekend out in the forest,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
Nikki's trying to be polite, but like the last thing that she's gonna do on a weekend is homework. Like, that's just like her being like, okay, so but I can describe it to you on the way back to my place, and I think she.
Okay. Yeah, and if you want to hang out or something sometime, then we could talk about it, and I could show you the presentation. I can make it myself. That is not a problem.
Don't you have a meeting of your little birdwatcher friends this evening?
Yeah.
It's the 4th Saturday. Yeah. There is a meeting tonight. Maybe we go.
Well, I was going to offer, if you would like to come over to our abode, you could talk with my daughter and discuss the birds, and then I could drive you both to the meeting.
We have pancakes.
Sure. I guess I'm gonna have to call my dad though. Do any of you have a phone?
Yes, we have one at the house.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sure. All right. And
Yay.
I think Ravi's going to do the very proud dad thing of quietly sit in the front seat and every so often like flick his eyes to like look at the 2 of them and be like, my daughter's making friends.
Yeah, and so I think Nikki does not bring the book out. She's still a little bit worried about what happened there. But starts to try to describe like gets all settled and it says, okay, well, yeah, and starts to describe what the bird looked like. What did it was rainbow, black, and like.
Well, it's weird. As soon as you start trying to describe it, it's like you remember writing that down, like black, red, rainbowish, and then you think about it and you're like, no, that's not right at all. Like the things you wrote down weren't even correct about it. And like, did it even really look like a crow? It was a lot bigger than a crow. It had like the wingspan of an eagle or a falcon. Maybe it was just a falcon. No, it wasn't a falcon. And just like the more you think about it, the less everything about it makes sense.
So it like, I mean, like it was so clear. It was big, and there just wasn't. I swear it wasn't in the book. It was in the tree for like a good 20 minutes or so, and it just wasn't. I'm not doing a very good job describing this. But it was big.
You're not.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm a bit rude. But I think that we can come up with a couple different renderings of it and just say that, more research needs to be done.
I swear it was nothing like any of the birds that I've seen, and I've seen so many of them. I have it's all.
I believe you.
I check mark each one that I see in my book, and it wasn't any of them. But I thought I was going to be famous on this. I can't even remember what it is.
Well, I mean, my dad's a scientist, so
I do a bit of dabbling in the scientists, the sciences. Sorry.
Yes, Papa. But he knows too that sometimes it takes a couple of trials before you can actually come to a conclusion.
Yes, of course. You can't make an omelet without several broken eggs. Too many broken, quite a lot of broken. I'd say about a good dozen broken eggs, and you get one egg that's worthy of an omelet. It's about the measure of it.
I never made an
We buy a
omelet.
lot of eggs. Oh.
I bet
You can
it's
try.
good. I bet it's good.
Pulling into the driveway, Ravi opens up his door and then very quickly gets Nikki's door and says, "How about you go call your father and let him know what you're up to, and then you two girls can go and hop on my computer in the office and figure out this elusive bird of yours."
Oh,
Thanks,
you guys
Papa.
have it. I turned to Didi. I'm like, you guys have internet and phone at the same time?
Yeah, but when you're using one, you can't really use the other one.
Okay, yeah, that's it. I mean, sorry, I like my mom has a computer, but I don't really know how to. I'm excited, and she's like, where's your phone?
Oh, it's in the kitchen. And he leads you over. It's one of those phones that has the stands in it and you pick it up and one of those. Very newfangled, very high tech.
I am excited about seeing it. I'm just kind of like, ooh, that's cool. And I dial my home number and I'm kind of just looking around the house. Is your house nice, Dee?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. My mom is really into anything that has to do with house management. What would you call it? Oh, being a homemaker.
Yeah.
So, she tries to keep up in the trends and stuff like that.
You know,
Okay.
you've been to Home Depot before with your dad, I'd say, Nikki, and the nicer end spectrum of the doors and furnishings and not lanterns, lighting fixtures. This is on the upper end of those. It's not top tier, but it's this is clearly at least middle upper class.
I think she's like, okay,
Yeah.
all right, and she's on the phone because I think the Fielder family is definitely just a little bit more get your knees scraped and go outside and don't they have maybe the one computer in the one room of the house that nobody knows how to really touch and all that. So I think that it's a little bit of a step up of what she's used to. So she's just okay. She's waiting on the phone for her dad.
Yeah. Eventually the phone clicks on and you just hear, "Yeah.
Yeah, Nate?
Yeah, what is it?"
Can you tell Dad that I'm at a friend's house and then I'll probably be back after the bird watching meeting tonight?
Sure, whatever.
Okay, don't forget.
Yeah, won't forget.
Did you make the... I don't think you hung up before.
Already hung
asked
up.
about the coin.
Already hung up.
She turns, she's like, they said it's okay.
Oh, excellent. Here, let me bring up the AOL dial-up for you. Come along, dears. And just brings you, and we're going to sort of zoom out on that. We see the very nice upper middle class home of them. And we see the town of Thrifton disappear sort of into the milieu of the evergreens. And higher into the sky, we see the strange looking bird, sort of amorphous in nature, indescribable, indecipherable, going along, flying through the view of the camera, until all of a sudden a net from nowhere comes around it and yanks it upwards out of the view. And that is where we're going to call our very first break for the session. And afterwards, we shall return to the Birdwatcher meeting where we have all of our little friends. Now that I do received pronunciation, I shall speak this way forever. So, get yourself some water, go get some snackaroos, and then we'll see you after the break. Pip-pop cheerio. Bye, lovelies. Hello and welcome back to the second half of our season 1 premiere.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. We got a little bit of spook going on, a little bit of like, what
Spooky.
the funk? Just
Something mysterious.
Intrigue.
un poquito. But we're about to ratchet it up just a smidge here, depending on where we get to. But we enter into the lofted attic of the sorry, could you say it
It's
again?
okay. It's Panganiban.
Panganiban. It's the emphasis on the first. I always want to put it on the second. Panganiban residence, and specifically Andy's little nest up in the attic. I'm curious. I meant to ask you this in the first half. What video game would Andy be playing?
PS1. When did Legend of Dragoon came out?
Ooh.
Ooh.
You know what? I feel like this is a great time to stop and ask, like, Legend of Dragoon came out in 1999.
Ah, it's a beta of Legend of Dragoon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
Because
that's the way to explain it.
yeah, her dad has a little bit of connection in that thing, and Andy knows connections, and sometimes Manuel brings home like beta stuff. So Andy is playing the beta of Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, cool. Going through it, it's very it's not even on what's called the PlayStation 1. It's on whatever like that deep old like code name is for it. But the sound which cuts through the delightful sensations of those wonderful like 16 and 64-bit harmonies is a very solid Adriana.
Spread love, spread positivity, spread love, spread positivity. And I put down the controller, and I don't really I don't run, but I don't like take my time as well. Basically, like I'm walking there, but I'm not running. And I reach my wonderful dad.
Yeah. Would you mind describing Manuel to us?
So Manuel is a typical Filipino guy, about 5'4", tanned, has a little bit of a like a whole beard, like a little bit of a beard thing going on. He's getting a little bit thin at the top, but that's okay. Don't ever point it out. That kind of thing. And he's taller than Andy, but you could tell that Andy will eventually get taller than him. That kind of thing. But yeah, black hair, brown eyes, Filipino.
I think he went for a goatee pretty recently, and so like cut all this off, but like he never said he didn't like it, but he's letting it grow back in. It's not quite to length at this point, but it's gotten a little uncontested here, but it's growing back out. And so there's a little bit of wildness and wiriness to his face currently. And he just sort of looks at you. Have you been playing that game all morning?
No, I've been playing it all
Adriana.
afternoon.
So clever. I'm sure that'll do well on the SATs for you.
I mean, it's still far off, right?
We've talked about this. You're getting near college. You have to be thinking about these things.
I mean, I know this is gonna sound ungrateful, but I'm probably just gonna work for you anyway.
You know how much I like hearing that. and you know how much your mother would not.
I mean, you have a lot of like that the game thing that would be like totally where I want to work.
Of course, but if you want to work for things like that, if you want to really put in the hours creating visions with that sort of technology, you have to have something to stand on. Have you looked at any of the extracurriculars that we talked about? Have you signed up for any of the clubs?
Uh,
You didn't even look at them, did you?
Dad, I could lie to you, and then I would be like a really bad daughter. But I'm not gonna lie to you because I'm a good daughter. No, I didn't look at them at all.
Well, thank goodness that you're a good daughter of mine. All right. Well, that settles it. Get in the car.
What?
Come on. Come on, we're going to the thing.
Where are we going?
We are going to a meeting of like-minded individuals who have a shared interest. You will not be just kept up there, sitting throughout afternoons or mornings, frittering that time away when you could be making friends. Do you know what I always say? Do you know what I always say?
You get everywhere in life with who your friends are.
You get everywhere in life with who your friends are. Friends are a golden opportunity.
Did
that
you even
capitalism
make that
presents
up by
us.
yourself?
No, Bill Gates said that.
Bill Gates.
Yes, of course. You know Bill Gates. Microsoft.
Right. All right.
He
well,
says
let me just-
Microsoft with the air of someone who doesn't quite know exactly what Microsoft does, but who has enough money to know what Microsoft is.
All right. Well, let me just get my phone. You
Is it
know,
charged?
I think I plugged it in.
All right. Well, get your phone and we'll get on our way. I'll keep the car running.
Then and then I run upstairs. And if you guys are curious, it is the Nokia 3110. It's
Yes.
a Nokia 3110 phone. It has no games because the games came out much later. But yes, it is just a phone. It is the first phone that has the D-pad, I think, or the
It
nav
is.
D-pad. So that had just come out earlier this year, and Andy doesn't like it, but he has it.
Yep. He pulls out his Jaguar XK8 and just does a gentle honk. It's not aggressive. It's just like, we're going. Come on. It's a very
Alright.
classy forest green.
All right. I sit in front and then I put the seat belt on and just sort of like slunk into the passenger seat and look out, and like I also have my Discman with me. And I'm careful not to jostle it because this is like the fourth one that I've bought because I've dropped multiple ones already.
Which he has replaced every single time. Yeah, at no cost to you. He puts on Blue Oyster Cult, big fan of the 70s music, and just cranks it, and you just hear and just that like cowbell noise comes on as Don't Fear the Reaper begins playing. He doesn't try and talk to you. I think it's pretty much a quiet drive there. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And as you're going down the road, it hasn't rained recently, but it's Washington, so there's always a puddle of mud or water somewhere. He doesn't intentionally hit it, and the kid isn't seen on the side of the road, but it does just clip the corner of a puddle and splash the bottom of one Leo's bike and the hems of his jeans. And as the Jaguar just moves down the road on towards Summit Avenue, Leo just goes, "Oh man," gets back on his bike and begins pedaling like very slowly, very asthmatically. And eventually, like, Celine, you see and hear him before he ever opens the front door to Far Out Jams. And eventually the little ring-a-ding-a-ding like opens as he gets in the front door.
Are you okay? What? Do you have an inhaler?
Takes one out of his pocket. Yeah, I'm good. I'm okay.
Oh, okay. You sit down for a second. I'll go get you a cup of water. And
Thank you.
I get like a little stool that I usually use when I can sit behind like the little desk, and I go and get a cup of water.
Yeah.
That's very room temperature.
Yeah. I imagine you get the water. You probably look for there's a refrigerator. Do you want to get some ice for it? It's your choice or not.
Well, no, because cold is bad for asthma.
Very true. You passed the test. Congratulations. You won the game. Campaign over. That's all it was. This has been sponsored by Asthma. Asthma, don't drink ice water if you've got
I'm asthmatic, damn it. I know this. Like, this has been sponsored by
This has been sponsored by Asthma.
It's sponsored by Asthma. Welcome to Harsh Realm, sponsored by Asthma. You get him.
I want that on a shirt. If anyone's paying attention, Harsh Realm sponsored by Asthma.
I didn't want me to say
For when the breathing gets harsh.
For when the breathing gets harsh. Gosh dang.
I want to point out I did not mean any of that sarcastic.
I know you didn't. Oh boy. All right. You bring poor Leo his. I was going to say lukewarm water. His room temperature water, cool tap water, and he takes some sips. Do you want to come bird watch me with me?
Huh?
Do you want to come to bird watcher me with me? Please.
You don't want me there. You don't want your big sister there, like, messing with you and your bird friends.
Yes, I do.
Isn't it in, like, the middle of, like, woods and stuff?
Yeah, it's at the old Grange.
How are we gonna get there?
I could bike us.
You're not gonna let me live this down if I don't go, are you?
No.
Damn it! Okay. Let me just go say that I'm closing up, or that, because my shift's almost done anyways, and I'll go with you to your birdwatcher meeting.
It is at this moment that a man, not a man, an older teen walks through the front door. He is someone I would describe as tow-headed, that sort of like weedy blonde, straw blonde hair that's all like frizzled and frazzled. He is wearing a long black trench coat, a dark beanie, and he's got a the Ramones t-shirt on underneath that looks like it has been worn every single day since it was purchased. That is the next person on shift on call, Tyler Parker.
Yeah.
Tyler Parker.
Hey, Tyler.
Hey. Sup, Celine?
Not much. I'm apparently gonna go into the middle of the woods and watch birds.
Cool.
You sure you don't need my help?
With what?
He sounds like a Tyler.
Tyler, you're so reliable when I need you in a pinch.
I'm not a rebible. Leo just drags at your hems and like, come on! And then you just see Tyler take off his long black trench coat, hang it up in the back, and just like literally throw his butt on top of a stack of records and then pull a manga out from his back pocket and begin reading. It's Chobits, in case anybody's curious.
I am. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
You're
that.
welcome.
It was very
Chobits is
important,
great.
and
Yeah.
because I know that Oron wasn't made by this time. I was gonna say if it was Oron, I would have like flipped my lid, like
That's
just
fair.
completely lost it. Like,
Yeah. And you begin. Well, Leo begins biking your way to the old Grange out on the north end of town near the Ptolemy. And we're gonna hard cut back over to Tara at this point, who I believe is out front of a certain residence.
Yes. Tara, before knocking, puts on her lip gloss because this is the first time that she's hung out with people in a long time, outside of school. And she's got, her hair is long-ish, like mid-back blonde, and wavy, and she's got this like kind of sundress on, but with jeans underneath and some white cowboy boots, and is very nervous, very excited, and knocks on the door.
The front of the household, you're able, like, as you knock on the door, you also look to the left and see that there's a doorbell. And also you notice that across the bottom, it's one of those dark brown doormats with the hard black outline, and then in beautiful cursive writing, just the name Persad written out across it.
I don't step on it because it's too pretty, but I will lean over and ring the doorbell.
Yeah. And after a short while, you just hear, "I'll get it, darlings!" And then just opens up to Mr. Prasad, aka Robbie.
Hello, is Dee Dee home?
Oh, yes, of course. You must be,
Tara, I'm her
Tara, yes, of course.
friend
And yes,
from the
yes,
bus.
with the
Yes.
bus. Yes, in the seats and the talking. Come on in there.
Okay. Jericho follows man in.
Again, like upper middle class, pretty affluent. It's that they've got those walls that are very white, but it's kind of like burbly, like kind of crinkly, you know, the paint comes up. Like if you look at it, if I always like to do this where if you look at it and lean back and look up, it looks sort of like the ocean if you kind of squint at it just a little bit. Yeah, that sort of like style to it.
We had walls like that in my childhood house.
Yeah, me too. Welcome to Harsh Realms, where half of the shit I steal is just my childhood.
Same.
Yeah. And eventually I think you get closer to Ravi's office study, which is one of those, it's got the double doors that you pull away and they fold into halves with it. And I think you're able to hear two voices talking about some sort of bird behind it already. Potentially.
Tara just got increasingly more nervous because she wasn't expecting anyone else to be here. And also doesn't know a lot about birds.
Yeah.
But this is a thing that Dee Dee has talked about before, and she has occasionally like picked up some bird information from the forums so that she could still engage in these conversations, and takes a deep breath and will go in.
Yeah.
Hello, Tara.
Hi.
I'm sorry. I forgot that you were coming.
Oh,
I'm so
Tara, what's
glad
up?
you're here.
oh,
Oh, you two know each other already?
I think we have English. I think we have English.
English and science And math.
I'm-
It's fine.
I'm not usually at math, so it's,
I wish I weren't at math. Hi, I'm Tara.
Nikki, but yeah, I guess I kind of knew your name.
So, and Nikki and I ran into each other near the forest by the river today, and Tara sits next to me on the bus all the time, and we just talk about things. And I show her math problems, and I'm so sorry. I'm now realizing that you probably don't want to see those, but
So, is it still okay if I come tonight? I don't want to like.
oh yes, yes.
interrupt.
No, I'm so sorry that the day kind of got away from me because Nikki made such a cool discovery this morning, and I was hoping to get something together before we get to the Birdwatchers Club so that we could maybe make a presentation or something. I don't know. Do you want to be a part of it?
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, maybe like you guys could do the presentation, and I could just be like the researcher that like like I could be like inspired. You guys can do the presentation, and I'll just be in the back, like, and I'll be like, yeah,
Okay.
I'll let you know if you guys do it right.
I mean, this is my first time at Birdwatching Club. I don't know if I'm ready to make a presentation.
Oh, that's okay.
Dee Dee did most of it already anyway. Like, really, it's just kind of like, I mean, and
Yeah.
I can't even totally remember what the bird looked like, which is stupid
I mean,
and frustrating.
I could
A little,
be
but we'll figure it out.
cheerleader. Ooh, go Dee Dee! New bird.
Okay. I can see it makes you a little bit uncomfortable, so you don't have to do it. But I'm really happy that you're coming.
Okay.
It's
I'll
gonna be
cheer you
cool.
on. I really will.
Birdwatching Club's easy.
Okay. I'll believe it when I see it.
And then erupting from around the corner, I need crumpets!
Oh. Wow, Papa, thank you. These are my friends, everyone. This is my Papa.
Oh, yes, Tara, and of course Nikki, and yes. Would you
right.
like these to go? I believe the club's meeting soon.
Yeah, can we
I'm already
eat them
reaching
in the
for one.
car?
Yes, of course. And then he just like passes two more to Nikki, and then rushes to the kitchen, and you just hear a and then a as like all of the crumpets are just placed unceremoniously into a large brown bag.
Your dad seems nice.
These are really delicious.
Do you need a laser pointer for the presentation?
No, thank you, Papa. I'll use the one on my keychain.
Yes, of course. Smashing, darling, smashing.
Okay. Can someone hold these? And she pulls out this giant book that's like 500 pages of just birds. And then like folders of materials, and then all the sketches that they made. And it's just like her small body is just like, someone help me.
Yes, I'll step forward and help. Wow, I feel like I'm gonna learn so much about birds tonight.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll talk about the comet too. I mean, I know that doesn't have to do with birds, but like, it's the sky.
Oh, yeah. I bet we'll be able to see it.
Yeah, I think somebody was saying something like that on the radio, like it's gonna be so big today or something like that.
Tonight is the perihelion.
The who?
The what?
It's the perihelion of the comet. It's when it's the point at which it's closest to the sun in its orbit.
Cool. I know my
I
dad
learned
was...
that online today, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Oh yeah, I think you are. My dad was talking earlier that he wished he had a telescope for it, but that's not really his thing, and he couldn't really get one in time. But hopefully someone else has one or something.
Get one on time. It's not really my thing either. He's clearly listening into the conversation.
Thank you, Papa.
Tomorrow's gonna be like the big flashy night anyway, you know, like when it's supposed to look really cool.
So do you want to maybe like hang out and watch it together?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like hang out twice in one weekend?
Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's fine by me. Yeah, of course I can drink out the tent. I can go to the Home Depot and get an astronomy. We can make a time. Oh, we can make s'mores. And he just like rockets his way into the room.
I'm just saying I'm totally green right now, like green light, but I'm getting so much secondhand embarrassment from Robbie right now. Overbearing father figure. It's delightful.
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to your moms later or something, because you're invited too, Nikki.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I'll come for s'mores. Sounds good.
Yeah, okay.
I can
Just
bribe
here
Nikki
for the
with food.
Yeah.
Can.
Yeah, okay. That sounds fun. Yeah, let's do it.
My dad
Okay.
my dad doesn't really know how to cook, and my mom's like almost always ordering in. So
Well,
anything
do you want
handmade is
another
pretty awesome.
crumpet?
Yes.
Tara has hands.
So good.
Maybe we can invite some other people from the Birdwatchers Club as well. Let's see if anyone else is interested. We have
Okay.
a lot of friends.
Yeah. Should we get going?
Yeah. We're gonna be
Okay,
late.
okay.
I don't like being late.
We're ready, Papa.
Oh, was that Nikki?
Yeah.
That was.
Oh. Grand. And then he just opens the front door and you hear him making preparations on the car. We're going to cut from that to the car pulling up just about when the Jaguar gets there. The Jaguar pulls up, I think, a little bit after, as our three young ladies are exalting the Toyota Camry 1997 Silver LE Edition. And Robbie is just talking specifically to Dee Dee. Now, Dee Dee, this is an ideal opportunity for you to make several new acquaintances. And I know you're doing splendidly. You've been great at it. I'm sure your mother would be proud. I'm proud of you too. But I'm sure I just want this to be clear as rain. If you need a place for your friends to crash, we will, of course, accommodate all of them. I'll smooth things over with your mother. I'll make it so. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, Papa. I love
Yes,
you.
of
And she
course.
like gives him a little hug.
Oh, I love you too, darling. And probably as they're coming up and embracing Manuel, it's a manual drive, this Jaguar. So Manuel takes the manual and puts it into park, and just looks over at you and is like, "Andy, look, friends. You can make friends like they are."
I mean, I have plenty of friends, Dad.
Well, these ones
She's lying.
look-
She doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, and he's completely ignoring it because he doesn't want to say anything bad about her.
That's
these
a trend.
these
for
ones
this group, I
are.
think.
They seem academic. Academics are smart.
I guess they do look studious. All right. Well, thanks, Dad. I'll catch you later, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you a text when we're done.
Yeah, of course. Don't worry. Send me a text. I'll be around.
Okay. And then I give my dad a kiss on the cheek, and I get out of the car.
Yep.
And I'm standing there.
And he does the parent thing of the slow corner back up where he can like look at you the entire time and then just slowly pulls away.
And I pull out my the tarot card that I put pulled out this morning, and I go, spread love and light. All right. And then I walk into the building.
The Grange is essentially one large open space. It's got a front double door. All of it is old lumber, beautiful old lumber. It's that sort of pine that has those beautiful knots in it that look like eyes almost, those dark pieces of wood. It is very clearly in a lot of disrepair, but not, I say disrepair, it's not in a bunch of disrepair, it's in a state of unkemptness. There's a bit of cobwebs in the various corners. There's leaves that have come in through the front door and the side doors. But on the whole, it's pretty clean and pretty still in good standing. As you go in, again, there's that front wide open entrance. It is essentially just an open space, but to the right is a set of bathrooms, and to the left is another set of the bathrooms. Neither of them are gendered. They're just open, 4 stalls each. And then in the center of it is 2 long tables, both with at least a dozen chairs at each of them. And then at the far back is what appears to be like one of those closets, like a church closet that you just sort of hang things up in easily with the wireframe coat hangers. And then right going into that, right off of the same plane, is what looks to be a kitchen. And the kitchen is in complete disrepair. Like, it looks like what pieces of the oven used to be there. People have taken off the knobs, the glass is busted inside of it and like in the oven itself. The refrigerator is cool but not cold and connected. And there are 2 side entrances as well. Those are just single doors. And the space around the Grange is a very calm, quiet clearing of evergreens. And as Andy is going in, and as I imagine the other 3 members are inside as well, Leo, pantingly with you on the back on the 2 spokes outside of the bike. All right, we're here, and just like throws the bike down into the middle of the clearing.
You really wanted me to come that bad?
Yes. We never do
Why?
anything together anymore. You're always over at that place with the records, and it's like you're acting like the mom all the time.
Oh God. Celine probably is just like having a moment like, oh, I effed up big time.
Do you
like,
think I hated you or something?
No, sweetie, no.
I don't hate you, okay? You don't have to work there all the time.
I do, but it's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with you.
Okay.
I promise it's
Celine?
nothing to do with you. Okay? I'll find a way for us to spend more time together. I'm sorry.
Hey, Tara! And then just immediately ignores the entirety of the conversation to turn and talk to Tara, who said
Aw.
Celine quietly.
Jesus Christ, you went for my heartstring.
I know. Hi. Hi.
Oh, Dara, what's up?
I didn't expect you would be here.
Leo really wanted me to come to this meeting, and I just got off of work, so I don't know how we're gonna get home because I do not think he can bike home like that.
I'll bike us home.
That's a bad idea. I'll bike us home.
It's a good you.
That's
you
also
don't
a bad
have to bike
idea.
us home.
My papa could drive you home.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. So I'm sorry. Dee Dee, this is Celine and Leo. And Leo, Celine, this is Dee Dee. Oh, and this is
Nikki.
Nikki, that's right. Nikki.
Nikki Fielder, nice to meet you.
And who's that? Just like points over at Andy, hard cut camera.
I don't know. Who are you? I'm sorry.
Andy, I'm new
Hi, Andy.
to this. My dad didn't even tell me what club
He
this
didn't
is.
even tell you what this is. Frankly, I don't know how he knew about this to some degree, but he knew, and he knew he was
What?
going to drop you off.
What is this?
Oh, it's Bird Watching Club.
Bird watching club.
We found a new one today. We're going to talk about it, I think.
Wait, do you?
Yeah,
just
do you?
do you just talk about the birds? Do you not actually go and watch the bird?
Well, I mean, like, technically bird watching is like an all the time thing. It's like whenever you're outside, you see the birds, you see which ones, like, you know, which ones are around at certain times of year, and then we kind of report our findings to each other. And I mean, like, you know, it's afternoon now. Sometimes we'll do like a group watch, but usually it's like a report back, check off your bird, and just kind of talk about them.
Celine kind of looks at Leo like, okay.
That's what we do. Did you see any good birds this week?
Tell him,
saw-
Nikki.
Okay, so there's a bird this morning when I was out on my regular
Well,
trail that I've never seen.
And no, she's not trying to stop you. She just gets
Oh.
excited. It's like, okay, I'm gonna make a presentation to them right now.
It was a bird
And
I'd
just,
never
like,
seen before, but it was just
As we're talking, shows pictures.
but it was, yeah, there was a lot. There was it kind of had a longish but kind of shortish beak. It was really big, but not like eagle big, but not like crow small. And it was kind of, maybe it wasn't red and rainbow, but it was dicky bird. And that's the first time she said that word out loud. But a dicky bird?
Dicky bird.
A dicky bird?
Maybe a Nicky bird.
With a short but long beak.
That's red and rainbow, but not.
And
I think
small
if you
but
discovered it,
big.
you do
Hey,
get
I'm
to
not
name
like
it.
I'm not lying about this. There was really something there, and I promise it wasn't something in the book.
No, I don't think you're lying, hon. I don't think you're lying. It's
I
just-
kind of do.
just- Leo,
What?
She rolls her
It
eyes.
sounds
Helios.
weird. It's-
Helio somewhere.
It was really there. I promise. I mean, I live there. I live out there, so I'll keep my eyes out for it. It probably won't be able to go far. Like maybe it's just moved into the territory, or maybe it's come down from Vancouver or something like that.
You live
With the
where
bird?
No, I just live. I live kind of like on the edge outside of town. Like, you know, it's not like far, but it's just like I go walking a lot. I like the woods.
Okay.
I was
They've
in
been
Scouts
working
for
on this
like
presentation
10
all
years.
day. I believe Nikki.
I believe them. It's just interesting. All right, what do you got? Let's see your presentation.
To the GM, are we expecting any more people at the?
No,
Bird
this is it.
Club? This
Yeah.
is it. all right,
This
all
is
right.
the full
How-
roster of the
Yeah.
bird
Is there like
watchers.
my
a proprietor
dad
of the
know
club?
Even like there's no leader?
Is there an adult?
Do you want there to be an adult? There,
Not really.
Andy is
It's
now
just-
the adult.
It's just funny
Yeah.
to me as Andy.
If
Yeah.
we're the
Where
only
I'm
people
looking
here,
around,
then who planned the
how-
club meeting?
I was gonna say I want to know the history of the bird
How
watching
did-
club. How did
How
it
did
start?
my dad even find this group?
I actually have an explanation for that, and it involves Ravi.
I was
I
gonna say the same
tracks.
thing.
Yeah.
I think Smash, like, going back in time, we see Ravi putting up little posters over town of like bird watchers and like old Grange and like listing the time of it.
I love Robbie.
The singular, you know those like how you slash them at the bottom and you take one of them off and it's got like the reminder. We just sort of zoom through town, like light post to like cork board to the supermarket like community billboard, and we see none of them have been taken except one from the second to the left of one of them. And we just like go forward in time. Manuel driving away in the Jaguar and just looking at the little piece of paper before he shifts it and tucks it back into his polo pocket.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll
Robbie,
make
number one instigator.
Yeah.
and all in good fun. Oh, he's the best.
All in good fun.
So I guess it's just us. Oh shit, I'm the adult. I mean, don't
Okay.
say shit. I mean, no. Stop.
I think we can all take
Okay, I know
care
that
of
word.
ourselves.
I mean, we definitely can. Like,
Yeah.
Of course. Of
Like-
course.
I walk around all the time. Like,
How old
Yeah.
are you?
I'm 17.
whoa.
Oh.
Okay, you're old.
Can you drive?
GM.
Yeah,
Do
what's
people
up?
drive at 17? I am not from America. Do people drive
You
at
can get your
17?
license at 16.
Yeah.
A brief
Awesome.
history of Washington State driver's licensing and permits. Yes. In Washington, you can typically get at least your learner's permit at 16. And if you're good at driving, 17, 18 at the latest for your like actual big kid license. So you could at least have a learner's permit to drive. Yeah.
When they all went, oh, can you drive? Yeah, obviously. I can totally drive. 100%.
Do you have a car?
It's at home.
Cool.
My dad didn't want me to run away.
Oh, are you like a problem child?
What's a problem, child?
Like Luke Skywalker.
Exactly. I'm like Luke Skywalker.
How is Luke Skywalker a problem child?
He was always doing stuff.
He
My
Annie
brother's a
thinks-
huge fan of
Annie
Vader.
thinks she's cool. Like Luke Skywalker. That's right. Uh-huh.
Do you
okay.
like, do you like, and she like kind of leans in even though there's no one else there, like, do you like drinking, smoking things?
Whoa.
Wow.
No. Do not do that. That is bad. But yes,
Okay.
sometimes I do.
But why would you follow up
Wow.
with that?
I mean, I'm
Question
cool.
for the GM. Is Lynn
Yeah.
like the actual adult?
Lee might be the actual adult here. Yeah,
100%.
like
let's all agree here. Andy is not an adult.
Andy is an adult in age. Celine is an adult in spirit and mindset.
It's not like I'm gonna sell them that.
You don't
I don't need money.
encourage it.
I don't
Oh,
have a lot of money
yeah,
anyway to buy that.
Don't worry about it. Like, don't even think about it. Yeah.
You sell like inhalers?
I think my dad does. Or at least owns a company that does.
Okay, sweetie, we have somewhere to get you your inhalers when you need them.
I'm just saying, if she can get drugs, like I need drugs.
No, okay. Jesus Christ. You don't.
You're gonna swear. You can't say that.
I said,
Oh,
Jesus
I don't-
Christ, that's not.
Yeah.
You can't take the Lord's name in vain.
No, no. I mean, if I wanted to get drugs, I could, but I'm not getting you any drugs.
Okay, no more talk about drugs. Leo.
What?
We everything you need, we have.
Okay.
And I will make sure we have everything we need. You don't need a hookup for inhalers.
How
we
old
get
is
McDonald's?
How old is Leo?
Leo is 12.
Is
Leo's
Leo
a
the
very
youngest?
young, boyish 12. There's 12-year-olds, and then there's Leo.
Oh.
I feel like she probably overcompensated trying to keep him as much of a kid as possible. And now
Yeah.
he's a
Nikki's
12-year-old.
Nikki's like,
"You
you're
teach-"
12?
I'm
No,
12.
he's 12 years old. Yeah.
I know, Nikki is like, you're 12? Like, because
Yeah.
she's been mature than him for quite some time, and she's only a year older than him.
Yeah, I'm 12. What of it?
Nothing.
Okay.
I just turned 13, in case anyone was wondering.
Oh yeah, I remember that day on the bus. You wore that cool outfit.
Yeah, it was just a few weeks ago. My mom got me a birthday dress.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, so soon we'll be old enough to get drugs too.
Oh.
Okay, nobody is taking drugs that aren't prescribed by a medical professional with an actual license. Okay, nobody
know,
needs drugs.
Sometimes my mom comes home with pills, but she didn't go to a doctor.
Nobody needs drugs. Jesus Christ.
Hey, it was the 90s.
Okay,
We
That's-
all know how to be kids.
Yeah.
your mom's
But I
an
mean,
adult. That's different.
Yeah, they just make her sleep a lot.
Okay,
love sleep.
So did you guys really all believe me when I say that the bird really exists?
Yes, I
No.
believe you. Let's talk about the bird.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
So here's the presentation. Well, here's like the short version of the presentation. So at precisely 7:36 a.m., our friend Nikki was near the river, and she saw. Well, she was going there to see some crows.
That's right.
Some crows, and then she saw, out of nowhere, a bird like no one's ever seen. She said that it had
bird.
the Nicky bird, and it had wings like an eagle, and a beak that changes size, and that could be something. It also had colors of the rainbow, but also not, which could indicate something. And we just need to find more information about it, and maybe like run some tests or do a little bit of exploring, because my papa says that there's something called the scientific method, and you have to like have a hypothesis and then test it a couple times and find out if you're right. All
Okay,
done.
so like the hypothesis is it a new bird? But to know for sure, we'll have to see it again.
Well, we spent the whole afternoon looking through my book, and we didn't find a single bird that looked like it.
Not exactly. I mean, like there were some things that looked like some birds and some things that looked like other birds, but like definitely not anything that I've seen. And I've seen so many.
So do we need to find this bird?
Well, if it's anything like any other of the local birds in this area, birds usually have a migration pattern. So it could be either on its way up here, on its way, well, it's south for the wind. So it might be, I don't know, it's springtime. That's not usually the time when birds migrate. It's mostly the time when they lay eggs. But maybe we can find some sort of nest or something that matches the size of the bird, and maybe we can see it again.
Field trip?
Field trip.
Okay. Are you all down?
I can do whatever.
Sure.
Leo just like looks at Celine and looks at Celine with that like 12-year-old stare of, I swear to God, let me have this.
If you
Celine's like-
ruin this
Celine's
moment
like
for
holding.
me,
I forgot
You
to mention.
screw me on this.
Celine's had her cane the entire time, and she's like holding it like.
Holding it up like she's
Yeah,
about to
like
hit.
shaking it like.
do you need help walking?
Oh, I need help with a lot of things.
Sorry, Celine, I didn't.
No. It's good.
No.
No.
Maybe we can just look for it from up here. Just look around. I don't.
No. Let's go. Let's go.
Good thing
She's
about
like,
bird watching is that 90% of it is just watching, and very little is moving.
Yeah, and you don't even have to walk that far.
okay, we'll go on a field trip to the where you saw the bird, and I will just take a lot of Tylenol afterwards.
And if not, Andy can get you more drugs. And then like Leo just heads for the front of the Grange.
I can get you Tylenol. Yeah,
I can get
I can
you
do that.
Tylenol.
I can get
Doable.
you some Tylenol for sure. And I'm like typing it on my phone just to like save it as a draft because that's what you do. You take notes. You're about to text someone, but you don't send it. You save it as a draft.
That's real. That's reality.
That's yeah.
The first phone I had was a Nokia 5110i.
Nice.
They're in. Well, birds of a certain size don't really nest in trees that have a lot of thick foliage. They're usually in more sparse foliage trees up high. So what we're going to be looking for, I guess, for a big bird is kind of something like a big nest up in a kind of naked tree. So don't worry about looking at every tree. Just try to look at the tall ones.
Look at naked trees. Got it.
She kind of just pats
Andy
Leo's
is
head,
giggling
like,
too, but like didn't want to show off that she was giggling about the naked part.
so nobody's gonna climb a tree, right? There's no climbing of the trees.
I
can't
can handle
climb
that if we need to.
Yeah, and if Nikki can do it, I can do it too. It's fine.
No, you can't.
It's not a big deal.
It's not.
We're no climbing.
Times like this. I wish I had a phone so I can have 911 on speed dial.
Times
I
like
have a
this, I
phone.
wish you weren't acting like my mom.
Yeah, Andy's
I
got
have
a
a
phone. We're
phone.
gonna be totally fine.
Hey, do you want me to send you back home?
No.
Then all right. Are we going on this field trip now?
If you feel up to it. We can take breaks too. I mean,
Yeah,
Let's just start with the trees outside the rec center.
Okay, we
Yeah.
can do that.
let's
Yeah.
not go far. I'm not great at hiking either, so
Hey, high five.
hey.
Hey.
If you ever need a buddy to sit down with, just let me know.
Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate it.
So, heading outside, y'all are looking up into the sky, I imagine, looking around in the trees and what have you.
And he's
Yeah,
looking
I'm
straight
assuming
up, just like I guess this is bird watching.
we have some binoculars and stuff
I was
we can
gonna
pass
say.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy has nothing other than a disc man. Andy is like, all right, let's do this.
What's Andy listening
Direction.
to?
Oh, let me just. What was popular in 1997?
Let's assume that the
The most popular song was "Don't Speak" by No Doubt.
Yes, it was.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
nice
Well, then we're listening to No Doubt.
Nice.
that the Grange had just like a couple of binoculars that are just like kept there at all times. And
Oh
we
no,
can
no, no!
pass
I
them
want to change my
around
mind.
as-
Sorry, it's Men in Black.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, yeah, I think those binoculars are probably like a little old, but they're useful.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
still
like
usable.
hand-me-downs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody's grabbing one except Andy explicitly and Celine, or are you grabbing one, Celine?
Is there enough for Celine to grab one?
I would imagine that there's an excess of spares, likely probably provided by Robbie.
All right, Celine's gonna grab one, not
Uh,
knowing what she's looking for because that was a very vague description.
I'm also gonna grab one just to look around.
Okay.
I guess.
So we're just looking for any birds?
Big bird in a tree. Doesn't look like any bird that you've seen before.
Okay.
All right.
You can always call it out. We can
What time
check
of
in
day is it?
Edie's book.
Can Celine borrow somebody's bird book so she can at least know what books are or what birds are documented?
I think
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely Can I hand her? Do you mind if I hand her mine with the?
No,
I
go
open
ahead,
my
yeah.
rucksack and I hand her mine and I say, "Here, I know most of the birds in here anyway."
Okay, thank you. And she's like looking up and down, like, I don't know
Okay.
anything about birds. Like,
Yeah. Looking up and down. Everybody's like scanning the horizon, looking up and amongst the trees for a bit. And eventually, like, Leo sort of nudges Celine and then points to somewhere not along like the top of the tree line, but like straight up into the sky, sort of where Andy's also been looking, because again, Andy's like, oh, birds, like.
Yeah.
And Leo and Andy both see the same thing, which is Hale-Bopp, the comet up in the sky. But it's looking kind of weird.
I think it looks weird.
I was going to explain it. It's looking kind of weird, and as you're looking at it, you notice that the small point of light that is the head of the comet is actually growing much, much larger, slowly but surely.
like it's headed towards us?
Almost, you might say?
Are we the dinosaurs?
My hand goes to reach out toward. It's like it's coming right at me.
Celine looks and she starts to get worried. And so, there's not really anywhere. There's not really anywhere to get everyone in case it is coming at them, right?
Not really.
Oh, good. So that you can just get hit. All right. So she like grabs Leo and goes, guys, everyone get in the building. Because at least you're in a building.
What? Why?
There's just get in the building.
Okay.
Andy, building.
Yeah, sure. Like one
Andy.
moment. What?
Andy, get
What?
in the building.
And all right. And then just walks in.
Everyone walks in. She like closes the door and she's like, everyone like, kind of like you're in earthquake drill.
The moment you turn to do the earthquake drill and everything, a humongous flash of light occurs outside.
Stop, drop, and roll.
What? I like
Immediately,
hand steps to the
Leo
window.
hits the ground and begins rolling over and over and over.
Andy is doing the same thing.
I think Dee Dee's probably running up to a window trying to see what's happening.
Nikki too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dee Dee and Nikki, you are able to see that in the distance there is a point of light shooting straight up into the sky.
Look, you see that?
Connecting the ground to where Hale-Bopp is in the sky. It starts out as a very strong beam and then gradually begins growing thinner and thinner slowly. It looks like it isn't that far away.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is the comet, is it coming down? Is it coming to Earth?
Oh no. This is how the dinosaurs died. I think she was right.
I think the dinosaurs were like, I think the dying was a lot faster.
You guys, we gotta go. We gotta see it. We gotta see it.
I don't know about you, but I'm from the kind of family that when we see giant mysterious things, we run the other way.
And it's at that point that Leo just bursts out the front door and begins sprinting.
Damn it, Leo. I love Leo, oh my god.
And I say, you know, maybe I was wrong about him, and I follow him.
I don't think my dad would like it if I let my new friends die. All right, I'm gonna go. And then I follow the two.
Okay, we're not splitting up. I've seen too many horror movies. Let's all go.
Yeah. Dee Dee will make sure that she's with Tara.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh no, we can't hear you.
Hold. One moment.
Hold.
Hold.
Hold
Hold.
your positions.
Hold.
Hold.
Hold the door.
Oh.
Hold door.
Oh my gosh.
Hold door. I don't know. I never actually watched it.
I love him. Oh,
Did Renee freeze?
Yes.
Maybe.
No,
A little
she's just
bit for
holding
me,
really
yeah.
well.
She's just holding it.
Oh. she's
Oh.
unfrozen.
No, we cannot hear you now. Drat.
Have you tried going to your settings and making sure the mic is correct?
Okay. While we figure that out and we keep going, I'm just going to assume Tara and Dee Dee are sticking together at the end of the line, if that's okay. Cool. With Leo at the front and Nikki in hot pursuit, the conga line of birdwatchers makes its way through the woods. Leo gets to the perimeter first, and just sort of like, as soon as you get up there, Nikki, he just sort of like pulls you down and very stealthily just goes, "They're over there."
Who's they?
I don't know. But like, he points through the underbrush, and here's a weird thing. You know that Melmont, the ghost town, the abandoned mining town,
Mhm.
way east up the river. So it's really weird that it's right here.
Wait. First off, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Wonderful. And second off, what time is it?
About 7 or so.
Tara's freaking out.
Wait, wasn't the comet supposed to be at like 7?
Melmont at 7 p.m.
Oh.
Okay, you know how internet safety?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I'm on these forums, don't tell my parents, and there was some guy, Cousin Fred 121, posting about Melmont at 7 p.m. and I didn't think I'd be here because internet safety. But we're here because Melmont is here even though it shouldn't be.
be.
And it's 7 p.m. and this post was pretty weird. It sounded like conspiracy theory, old neighbor kind of thing.
Like culty?
Maybe a little culty, but people on the internet are all really weird, so it's just kind of
Cults are
hard
everywhere, man.
to tell.
That's true. That's a good point.
Cults are
Everything is a cult.
Yeah. One of like my parents in the Philippines, there was this cult that was trying to get my parents to join their cult, but my dad was like, nah.
I mean, I don't know if it was a cult, but I would never have gone because you don't meet up with internet people.
Yeah, you never do that.
Don't do that.
No.
Never do that.
Don't ever like travel to meet people.
Yeah, it's
that you've
probably
only
an
met
old
on the internet.
person.
This is probably not the time to be having this conversation. So we should probably table the internet safety part.
Okay,
I'm very proud of you for knowing not to talk to or not to meet up with internet strangers.
No, but Celine, what I mean is I wouldn't be here except it's here.
No, I get that. And why? How did?
And
How did
something is
Melmont get
happening
here?
at 7 p.m. So that's what I mean. Internet safety was a side thing.
There has to be a rational explanation for this. If I look behind us, do we see the building we just came out of?
No.
What?
How did we
How far
Okay.
did we run?
I'm gonna call my dad.
Yes.
And I'm good. Yeah. I dial the phone number and I call.
You have occasionally tried to dial your phone when it's out of service or out of area. This doesn't sound like that. It sounds like a busy tone mixed with static and white noise.
Nope, that's weird. 911.
A busy tone with static and white noise.
Stupid phone.
Riley, I take my binoculars out and I'm looking around to see any signs of other people in Melmont.
Yeah. In the center of the town is a gathering of individuals in long black cloaks.
Oh,
Okay,
All
I'm
of
feeling
which-
the cult now.
All
We
of
are
which,
in a cult.
all of which are surrounding a large bonfire.
oh, this is
On top of which is a woman who is standing in the middle of flames, connecting the light from the heaven to the earth.
They're burning her. We gotta help her.
What? No.
no.
You
Definitely a cult.
Yeah, but they're burning her.
Yeah, and they're gonna
She
burn us
looks
if they see us spying.
She looks fine.
Does she look fine? She looks
Does she look fine?
on fire.
She begins
can't-
singing.
Oh,
Ding.
No, y'all, nuh-uh. This is a fat. Celine looks at, grabs Leo's hand, like, no, like, just, it's like,
I
nope.
think we should hide.
I like that idea.
Okay, yeah.
well, she doesn't look like she needs saving, so I'm gonna go hide somewhere.
Internet safety.
Is,
And it
Cults
sure
are
does.
everywhere.
Internet.
if this is
Tell
an
my
abandoned
dad.
mining town, do we have like hollowed out buildings or things around that we could potentially go behind?
The two nearest things to you is a large stack of now very old timber that's been pyramided up in that like triangular sense, and what appears to be a disused telegraph station. It's got the wiring, but it's all fallen to the ground, and it's big enough to fit all of you. Both of them could conceal you feasibly, much better than the current underbrush that you're behind.
Okay. I'm gonna go behind the wood pile. Everyone be quiet.
With Nikki behind the wood pile. Like just
go with Nikki too.
Are we all gonna go? We're all gonna go.
All right, the wood pile it is then.
Keep your voices down. Be quiet. Guys, everyone needs to be a lot quieter.
I'm thinking that you were right and that it's definitely a cult.
Yes, sweetie, it's definitely a call.
I think I saw the smoke from this fire earlier today, but it was way back when it was not. It wasn't here.
Well, Melmont isn't supposed to be here.
Or maybe we got teleported to Melmont. Did we ever think of that?
That's a possibility.
Teleportation.
We don't know
How did we
that.
get teleported. I mean, the internet says like there's a ton of weird stuff that could happen with the comet, but I thought it was just the internet being weird. The internet's a very weird place.
Yeah, don't participate in the internet, folks.
You heard it here on Twitch.tv first, folks. Don't go on the internet.
participate
Screw
on
that
the internet.
internet.
It's too
Stay
weird.
offline. The internet is a very weird place.
I heard on the internet that I shouldn't go on the internet.
It's Bill Gates' tautology. That's what it is. Sorry, Al Gore, he invented it. That's my bad.
Did Al Gore really invent it?
No.
All right, cool. I'm not from here, as you
That's-
can tell.
That's fair.
That's valid because I also
Riley-
believe that.
I'm gonna like peek out from the edge of the woodpile and like watch through my binoculars.
Yeah, as you watch, and it's really difficult to hear what specifically the woman is saying. Definitely doesn't sound English. But she is slowly rising up.
Okay, she's floating now.
Can
Oh
I-
my god.
Can I? Is the telegram thingy sort of closer, or is the wood?
It's like woodpile, and then telegram is like angularly closer. Like it's sort of 6 on one hand, half dozen the other, but the telegram is just like a little bit closer.
I'm going to sneak towards the telegram.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Could
And
you
then I
please
go.
for me roll
no.
a flight?
Flight? Good
Yes.
thing that's my highest one.
Yeah, I was gonna say. This is gonna be a 10.
All right. Well, I rolled a 6.
Yeah. As you're standing up, as you're standing up and you make it to the door, you're able to like propel yourself in there, but the door is a lot less solid than you would expect. And as you grab onto it, it like falls completely against your hand. Part of the roofing tiles shear off and drop onto the ground as you lose your footing and sort of come to your knees just outside. And two of the folks in the circle around the bonfire are now looking in that direction.
I duck back behind the wood pile.
Oh, hey, I'm lost.
Oh my god.
No, she talked to
Sleep face palms.
The two figures look at one another, look at you, break ranks, and begin walking towards you.
We
Not,
gotta go.
not fast, not slow, just a natural gait. Behind them, the circle closes up as they exit it.
Andy, do not.
Well, this is
engage.
great. I'm going to go. I'm sure you should follow me. And then I run away from the woodpile.
Hmm.
Internet safety.
The moment you break into a run away from the woodpile, both of them begin sprinting after you as well.
No. Is there anything nearby that I can throw at them?
Also, because that was a failed roll, please take an adversity token. First one of the game.
Ooh.
This Kids on Bikes is a wonderful system where we fail forward. It's okay to have failures because that means we get to bank adversity tokens and bring them out later for the big guns. So, sorry, someone was saying something after that? Was it Renee or?
Oh, I was just asking if there was something I could throw.
Yes, throw.
Okay.
There's stones, there's rocks. You could probably pull a twig out of the pile.
Throw my cane.
Could thrown Celine's cane, though. I mean,
Keep that.
I'm not going to do that.
kind of rude.
I am rude. That is a flaw. Of
It
mine,
is an option,
but-
though. As long as we're
But-
taking stock.
Brawn is my worst stat. So I think Dee Dee would think that was probably too heavy for her to throw accurately. So she might pick up a stone. And she wants to throw it at one of the people who are charging.
Yeah, okay. Let's use a brawn.
All right.
I'm gonna set this at like a 6. It's not too difficult.
Okay, because
What'd
that
you
was a 3.
Okay.
Oh no. Do any of us have high brawn?
No, fun
It's a
fact, all of
D6.
you did not pick brawn or fight. So this is a great scenario for like the entire party. Not a single person has brawn or fight. Which
Oh,
is-
Me,
frick.
I have a brawn at D6.
yeah.
MD8.
Mine's D8.
Oh my gosh, we're really bad at this.
We're
I
right.
didn't look at party balance.
No. Who balances parties? That's no
We
fun.
did not think this through.
No.
You thought it through, and now we are experiencing the wonderful consequences of that thought process, which is adversity token, Chris. The rock misses in front of their faces, pings off, and the both of them look to the wood pile and see all of you packaged behind there.
I'm gonna
I run.
Go
I
ahead.
bolt.
Yeah,
I
I
grabbed
shoved the
Celine
others
and
towards.
Dee Dee and run.
No, I
Yeah.
shove like Leo and Tara and Nikki and Dee Dee like away from that, and like go because I'm not gonna be able to run.
You push all of them away and leave yourself?
Well, she can't run that well, so it's not gonna end well if I try to run.
That's true. What do the rest of you do? I mean,
I'm-
Andy's already like gone. One of the folks in black cloaks is still running after the direction of Andy. The other one broke off, and 2 more folks are coming from the circle now as well.
I think Nikki kind of like looks behind and is like, come on. And she kind of like goes and swoops underneath one of Celine's arms and like kind of puts her arm around her and is like, come on, I'll help you. I know this is hard, but we gotta go.
All right, Celine tries to vote for it too.
Okay.
Are we all leaving Andy? I just realized that.
Andy ran the other direction. I don't know
Yeah.
that there's a ton we can do for them right now.
I'm running to what I thought was their attention, so you can escape. But Andy did not know that you all that somebody threw a rock at them. So
Whoops.
Is
We're all trying to save each other.
is this wood pile toppleable at all?
Oh, I love you.
It very well might be. Yeah.
As everyone starts running, I'm gonna try and just push the wood pile over to like create difficult terrain.
Difficulty 6. Give me a brawn, please.
Okay, what is my brawn?
6.
A 6. Woohoo! Okay, that's a 1.
That's
get a
kind of
splinter.
catastrophic.
Ow!
As everybody's making a break for it, you are snatched up by the person who is coming. Like you're trying to push and you're almost able to get it, but like it falls back against you, sort of hits you in the chest, and the person who is coming after the group snatches you up and like just puts arm around throat and like brings you to your feet, backing up.
How far is the rest of the like us that were running? How far?
I wouldn't say that you got more than 30 feet away.
Can I
Andy is maybe 60, 90 feet away from this.
Can I turn around and try to hit him with my cane?
You may absolutely turn around and try and hit him with your cane. This is going to be an opposed attack action.
Oh, frick.
Which is fun. So, combat encounters. As with other stats in the game, combat can be resolved in multiple ways. So you could stand firm and take a hit. So how do you want to attack them? Is this a fight, like all out, just fight attack? Which stat do you want to use?
Grit. I want to use grit.
Grit?
My grit's 20.
Grit, huh?
Because she's always in pain, so it's kind of hard to make somebody feel worse.
Yeah. No, I dig it. Let's figure out how to flavor this specifically with grit. Because grit is like high grit, keep a level head. So do you want to do like the Sherlock Holmes thing of like discombobulate a motherfucker?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Cool.
Yeah. Roll that 20 for me.
Are you going to give me a difficulty?
No, this is an opposed check.
Uh-oh.
Alright, be good to me. Yeah, that was a 2.
Does anybody want to toss adversity tokens to this?
I'll have it.
Okay. Describe how you would help this action in terms of grit or your own statistic.
Let's see, what's my grit? Grit's pretty good. So seeing that Tara was grabbed and she's running, Dee Dee turns back, Tara, and will turn around in the other direction, and when she turns, she'll try to specifically like discombobulate them by like kicking her heel out and spraying like wood chips and dirt or something to add a distraction and maybe separate their attention between me and Celine.
So because you succeeded the defender's roll by 1 to 3, you get to narrate control. So the attacker explains how they attack, and then I as defender narrate what I do to mitigate the harm. So feel free to do so. Celine or Dee Dee.
Celine, you can go ahead, do it.
Okay, so I'm describing.
Don't everyone volunteer at once.
I'm describing
I thought you were talking to
I was kind of talking to both of you. Yeah.
Okay.
Am I describing what I did, or am I describing what Dee Dee did? Or yes.
Describe what you did and then how Dee Dee helped you and the effect that it had. Yeah?
Yeah. So I go and I just throw myself at this person. And then as I'm throwing them on one side and they're very much focusing on me, Dee Dee rushes in on the other side and gets them off guard.
Mm-hmm.
And so they fall.
And they fall, and you hear them cry out and go, ah! And they seem stunned, but not like down and out. Like the air probably got knocked out of them. Also, Tara is no longer in their grip as well. So that's an additional benefit.
Question.
Answer.
I think I forgot to put this in my bio. I promise I did not just come up with this.
Yeah, of course.
But I wanted Celine and Leo to speak Spanish at home.
Yeah, sure.
Can Celine yell at Leo in Spanish to take Nikki and go get help?
Yes. Yes. See, and he just like nods and then like grabs Nikki's forearm, I think, and then rush off into the woods. Is Andy doing anything? Or are you still leading that person away from the group?
I'm leading that person away from the group,
Okay.
not knowing whatever is happening at the moment.
Okay. As you are leading them away from the group, as Andy grabs onto Nikki's arm and pulls away, as Tara is extrapolating herself from the grip, while Celine and as Celine and Dee Dee throw themselves at this attacker, you just hear a brief bright no from the woman who was singing as more people run away from the circle and the light breaks from its connection to the heavens. As that happens, a gigantic flash of white light occurs, washing over the entirety of the area, suffusing every surface, blindingly white, absolutely radiant in a way that you can't ignore. We wake on the morning of March 22nd, 1997, in the household of Celine. What do you typically do in the mornings, Celine?
This is Sunday now, right?
No, it's Saturday morning, March 22nd, 1997.
It's a groundhog situation!
Uh-oh!
What the fuck, Riley? It's terrifying.
You look so smug right now in the best way, and I'm proud of you, but also like, ah!
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm very proud. Oh my god.
Yeah, you typically go downstairs and like get meals for yourself and make one for your brother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange. You had the most vivid dream of today. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Like you look at the calendar, it's a little raggedy on the wall, you know, it's like, yeah, Saturday. Why did that feel so real? And you're just like, Leo, breakfast. Leo.
Oh no. Leo's not gonna come out, is he?
And that is the day that Leo Zamora went missing.
No.
Thank you for coming to session 1 of Harsh Realms, everybody.
Not Leo.
Leo, he loves
You
Vader.
put it back right now.
You give me back my
Riley, I
give me
swear
back
to
Celine
God.
Leo.
Welcome to the
He's
campaign,
the
baby.
chosen one.
So yeah,
my
thank you for
gosh.
joining us for our very first session. We will see you next Tuesday, same bat time, same bat place for everyone else. I'm Riley Gritch on Twitter and Twitch. Yes, that rhymed, and I use it every time. As Christiana said, this Saturday we are going to be having our season 2 premiere of Avatar Reclamations at 11 a.m. PST. And I'm also going to be in a campaign as a player at 9 a.m. PST on another channel, which is going to be really cool. And then on Sunday at 4 p.m., I'm doing a charity one-shot for Jess the Human and helping raise money for reproductive rights. And how about we go in reverse order? Glyza, how about you give your outro?
Hey, I'm Glyza, they, them. Today I played Adriana Andy Panganiban, who is not feeling super chill right now, I promise. I am a person of many hats. I'm a podcast host, I'm a writer, I'm a variety streamer, I'm a talk show host of a show called Trial Run, where I interview different TTRPG personalities and then run them through a quick one-shot. I am also, I guess, a TTRPG personality. If you were here in the beginning, you saw all this, you heard all the stuff that I was in this week. But, if you weren't here, well, to see all of the stuff that I'm in, why don't you just look for me as at Classical Glyza everywhere on the socials, or go to bio.link/Classical Glyza, because I make all of my announcements on Twitter, and you really should follow me because I'm occasionally hilarious and always a delight. Thank you. Next.
Cool. Kels, want to hit it up?
Yo, thank you so much for coming tonight. I've been Kels. I'm PokeKels on Twitter and most other socials. You can also find me at Red Scale Design on Instagram and Twitter, where you can see cute art that I make. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, I'm occasionally on the odd D&D stream or the odd TTRPG stream situation, and I'll talk your ear off about Pokemon if you ever want. But yeah, that's how you find me. I played Nikki tonight, and I plan to play her again.
Hey, there we go. Renee, how about you next?
Hi, I'm Renee, she, her, and I played Tara, she, her. I haven't quite figured out how to pronounce her name. I think it's Tara. But I'll get there. I'll get the hang of it. I'm so floored. I'm gonna go yell at my partner about this session as soon as I get off this camera with this call with this people after we debrief. Okay. I am on Twitter at RayDeanneR. I do things sometimes, but because of having COVID twice in the past year and long COVID, this is the first new stream I've done in over a year, and I'm super excited to be back. Thank you all for having me. I'm so excited. Okay. Anything else I do will be posted on Twitter, and along with lots of pictures of my very cute cats. All right, I believe that's it for me for now. Next week, I'll have a script like our pro friend Glyza.
No.
Cool. Chris!
Hi, I'm Chris. I didn't mean to confuse you about the pronunciation of Tara. That's just how I feel like a British girl would say it who's trying to get rid of her British accent, but it's hard because both of her parents have very pronounced British accents. Thank you, Riley. I'm Chris. I go by she, her pronouns. I played Darthi or Didi, who also uses she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Carpe Christie. Soon, #soon, I will be, sorry, I'm so wired right now. I will be starting my own Twitch channel, and it'll still be Carpe Christie. I'm in the process of moving right now. You can't really see it, but once that's up and running, I'm so excited. I think I might start with like Last of Us 2 or something because I have never played it. And I'm a TTRPG writer. Just started working with Pathfinder. So that's super exciting, and I'm very excited about that. And you can find out anything that I'm doing on Twitter because I'm very active and vocal there. And I will see Riley on Saturday where she GMs us on Avatar: The Last Airbender Reclamations. That Glyza was
Hey.
on for a couple of episodes
Yeah,
too.
I was
Yeah.
Fior.
And
Yeah.
will be someday again.
Yes.
Will be.
There's gonna be a Zuko redemption storyline
Oh
for
my
Fior.
gosh.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. But for
Cool.
now, watch your back, you punk ass kid.
And with that, Nox, bring us home.
Y'all don't get it. This is my first like campaign like ever. So that was an intro. Hi, I'm Nox. I was Celine. I'm like losing my like cool right now, so I'm gonna go scream after this. But Riley. So hold on, give me a second. I've been trying to compose myself the entire time everyone else went, and I still okay. My Twitch my Twitter. Jesus Christ, my Twitter is at Noxternal_7 for like RPG stuff. I do also do a lot of book content because I like reading, so that stuff is like under Nox_reads. But if you want more stuff like this, I'm going to be in a game on the 16th, which is this Saturday at 11 a.m. on twitch.tv/TameDRyu, where we're going to be playing a game called Under a Harvest Moon, and we're raising money for reproductive rights and abortion care. So I'm going to be doing that this weekend, and then this again next Tuesday for Riley to keep doing this to me.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after that, that weekend after not this weekend, but the next weekend, I'm going to be into other streams, also raising money for reproductive rights over on the Lion Knight 42 Switch. So I'm going to be doing Monster of the Week at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time on the 23rd, and When the End Comes at 12:30 on the 24th. So yeah, I can't breathe. I might actually need my inhaler. Jesus Christ.
That's
Riley.
fair. Sorry for party rocking, fam.
This show has been sponsored by asthma.
This show is sponsored by asthma.
Sponsored by asthma.
Thank you, everybody. Great session one, and thank you to all who watched and are watching on the VODs. And thank you for stopping by. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Poor Leo.